I am the Nosy Witch. Welcome back to my channel, Nosy Witch Tarot. This reading is titled, Who Wants Your Attention? Who is desperate to get you to notice them and why? Who are they? What do they want from you? Why are they so desperately craving your attention? This reading is about to cover all of that. If you would like further information regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out the description box or the pinned comment below for a little bit more information. Similarly to last week's reading, we have 4 tarot card decks for you to choose from today. There are 4 piles with 4 stickers that you can choose from as well. This reading will be similar to other readings I have done in the way that throughout the first portion of the reading, we will be looking at a few oracle cards from a few different decks in order to tap into the overarching energy. And then the second portion of the reading will be more of a deep dive, and that will be the tarot reading. So there are actually oracle cards at the bottom of each tarot deck. It's just I wanted to add a little bit of visual variation for you, so that's why I've chosen to use different tarot decks. I just think it adds a little bit of variety and it might make it easier to choose from the piles. We may also roll the astro dice and get a little bit of closing advice at the end of the reading. I am about to run through each of the piles and the stickers attached to each pile in just a moment. Just my usual disclaimer that this kind of reading might touch on things that could potentially cause upset for you, in particular if this is in relation to past relationships, difficult dynamics. If you feel like any of that would upset you, you are more than welcome to click off the reading. You do not have to accept anything as your story if it is not. No worries, I will see you in the next reading. I would encourage you to use your intuition in order to pick the pile that is calling to you. You are also more than welcome to choose more than one pile if more than one is calling to you. If you are finding that the pile you have chosen does not resonate, that is okay. You are always welcome to go back and choose a different pile. Again, don't claim anything as your story if it isn't. If you're finding that none of the readings are resonating for you today, that is also okay. It might not be your reading at this current time. I do set the intention that the readings will be timeless. Maybe this will be your reading in the future. You can always come back to it. And if it just doesn't resonate at all, that is also okay. We are so lucky that there are plenty of other readers and plenty of other readings out there. Maybe mine just isn't for you, and that's okay. You are always welcome back anytime. If you are finding that you are disconnected from your intuition for whatever reason today, you are more than welcome to use a random number picker online in order to choose a pile for you. The worst that can happen is that it's not your reading and you do not claim it as your story and you go back and you choose a different pile. All of that is okay. I'm so happy you're here. I'm happy you are listening to the reading. And with that said, I just want to thank you all so much for being here, for giving me the opportunity to do these readings. I really do appreciate it so much. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you for every single person who likes my videos, who subscribes, who comments. It just all means the absolute world to me. So thank you for that. And if you haven't done any of the aforementioned, please could you consider doing that? It is an amazing way to support me and my channel as I learn and as I grow. With all of that said, let's get started and have a look at each of the piles. Oh, also, I will pop any tarot decks or oracle decks used in the description below. If you would like to purchase one of those decks for yourself, I will try and find a link of where you can get them. Okay, anyway, without any more hesitation, let's get started. Let's have a look at the piles. Feel free to pause the video also if you would like to meditate on your decision for a while. But over here we have pile 1, the queer tarot, and the green cow with the coins. That was a bit of a mouthful. That's pile 1, the queer tarot, and the green cow sticker, the cow with the coins. Here we have pile 2 and the magic of tarot, and the purple cow sticker, the cow with the flower. That is pile 2, the magic of tarot, and the purple cow sticker, that is the cow with the flower. Over here we have pile 3, Midnight City Tarot, and the blue cow with the orange. Over here we have pile 3, the Midnight City Tarot, and the blue cow with the orange sticker. And over here we have pile 4, the Good Karma Tarot, and the brown cow with the leaves sticker. That is pile 4, the Good Karma Tarot, and the brown cow sticker. That is the cow with the leaves. Once you have chosen your pile or your piles, please head to the pinned comment below or the description below. I will list timestamps down there, and that should take you straight to your reading. Thank you for being here today. I really hope you enjoy the reading. If you do enjoy the reading, please let me know what you liked about it. I really appreciate all the positive feedback that I've had so far. So please keep that coming if you can, if you have the time to do so. But otherwise, thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at your reading, collective. Hi, Pal 1 Collective. If you chose Pal 1 and you chose the Queer Tarot and the green cow sticker with the coins, this will be your reading. This reading is titled Who Wants to Get Your Attention? Who is Desperate to Get You to Notice Them, and Why? If you want further information regarding what this reading will entail, please check out the introduction. You can also have a look at the pinned comment or at the description box for further details. However, we are about to get started with this reading. And I am also just noticing that I don't think this sticker actually has coins. It is interesting that I said coins. I think it's because this cow is green and that makes me think of like money and, you know, like pentacles energy, but I actually think this is a little flower. But at first glance I thought it was coins. So yeah, that's just interesting. Pentacles could be significant to this pile. Just something I wanted to mention before I forgot, because I've just noticed that this is in fact a flower and not money. Sorry if you can hear noise in the background, by the way. Again, my windows are closed, but one of my neighbours is just repeatedly screaming. I think like cheering. I don't know whether football's on or something. Maybe something is going on in the sporting world. I have no idea. I am not a sporty girl. I don't really follow football teams or anything, so who knows. But yeah, I will try and reduce the volume during editing, but just wanted to mention that if you hear screaming in the background, I don't think anyone is being murdered as far as I know. I think it is just somebody screaming about football, and it's very annoying, but we are going to try and ignore it. I mean, maybe that's confirmation for you though. If your person is sporty, they are into football, or they are currently watching a football match or something like that, if they are interested in that kind of thing, maybe this is confirmation. If that's the person who's trying to get your attention, it could be, doesn't have to be. I'm just kind of getting these messages through before we've even started with the reading. But yeah, we are going to look at a few of the oracle cards first. The oracle cards are actually at the bottom of this pile of tarot cards. All the cards have been selected already. So what I'm actually going to do is just move the sticker and move the tarot cards to one side so we can just focus on the oracle cards for now. So we are about to unveil what you got. I do just want to kindly ask that if you like this reading and if you like my style of content, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could like the video. That is a huge way to support me. Please, if at all possible, subscribe if you haven't done that already. I am still learning and growing, and every little thing helps. So if you can do any of that, or if you can comment and just give me some feedback and let me know what you liked about the reading or something like that, or what resonated for you, please do that. All of that will mean such a lot, and I just want to thank you all so much to anyone who has done any of those things. I really do appreciate it more than you know, and I just can't thank you enough. I know it's annoying that I say that in all of my readings, and I know people don't like it when YouTubers beg for likes and subscribers and things like that, but those things are so important when you are such a small channel and you're growing, and I do just like to thank the people who have done that, to let them know that I do genuinely appreciate it, and it's not something that I take for granted in any way. And I don't know why, but now I'm like randomly tearing up, and I really don't know why. Like, it's not that deep, it's not that emotional, but I'm just tearing up. So maybe I'm due on my period or something, and that's why. No idea. But anyway, let's get started with the reading and let's have a look at the oracle cards we pulled for you, Pal 1. Okay, so from the Woodland Wardens deck, we got the Fox and Ivy Adaptability. From the Beach Time Soul Oracle, we got heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. And from the Moonology Oracle deck, we got balance, spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So I think if we are to just for a second address the elephant in the room, this heartbroken card showing up. Now, I don't want you to be worried or be anxious about this Pal 1. Obviously, if you do not want to hear about past relationships, then I would maybe advise you to give this reading a miss because we might be discussing that. However, I don't want you to be anxious because I feel like this heartbreak, that is something that you are already very aware of. Like, that is something that's already happened. And I think you have already been through the worst of it. Like, the worst is over. That is something that's happened between you and this person. I definitely feel like there is a separation. I would be very, very surprised if this was like a new person. I feel like it is definitely a person from the past, a person where not necessarily, like, you don't necessarily have to have had a super long relationship with them. You don't have to have been married and then divorced or something like that. You don't even have to have like lived with this person. This could have been somebody who you maybe only dated for months or even weeks, but it's like in the aftermath of something happening, you felt heartbroken by the way you and this person separated. And I think emotions ran very deep. I'm getting something, especially like with this Pisces, full moon in Pisces, you know, maybe water sign energy is significant. Maybe you have Pisces placements or this person does. But I'm just getting the phrase emotions ran very deep. So in whatever capacity you were with this person, even if you didn't know them, as well as like, you know, someone who you were in a relationship with for like 8 years or something like that, even if you had only been with them for a short period of time, it's like the emotions ran deep. Things maybe got serious very quickly or something like that. There was a lot of strong feelings on either side. So that's why it felt so awful when some kind of separation, a breakup of some kind took place. Even if you weren't officially like with this person and you were just seeing each other, there was still this sense of heartbreak because of this separation, and definitely a mourning period. And I feel like, you know, this person clearly hasn't got over you. I think they are equally, if not more so, brokenhearted. But I think it was perhaps a delayed thing for them. So, you know, if this person initiated the breakup or you were forced to initiate the breakup due to something that they had done, I think their ego, you know, tried to protect them, tried to convince them that they weren't too bothered about losing you. Maybe it felt like they moved on very quickly. On the surface, it seemed as though they were just like getting on with things. They didn't really care. Whatever, you're not a loss to them. It took a while for the feelings to fully hit them, but now these feelings are hitting them. They are desperately wanting you back, your attention back, your time back. And are you willing to give that? I'm not sure, because I don't know what this person's done. But if they left you heartbroken, like, is that really a person you want in your life ultimately? And we are going to get into a little bit more about this person as confirmation for you of who this is, if you don't know. But if you were thinking that, you know, this person just didn't care about the way things ended, or they don't care, and if you're still in separation, this person wants in. Like, this person is unwilling to let you go. And they are heartbroken in their own way, but they have incredibly funny ways of showing it or not showing it, as the case may be. And you know, with this full moon in Pisces coming through, I feel like this person might have incredibly deep emotions similar to you, if that applies. And it could have been that, you know, you sensed a similarity between you and them. Like, you could see that they felt things deeply because you do as well. But I think you are more the kind of person where, like, you realize that even though you feel things deeply, like, you are still responsible for your own emotions. You are still accountable for your own actions. And I think this is maybe something that this person hasn't realized. They don't realize that they're not the only single person in the world with deep emotions. They're not the only person who feels things. And I know it can be incredibly hard if you are like an empathetic person. You do feel things deeply, things hit you on another level. But I feel like with this person, there's something disingenuous about it. There's something inauthentic. Like, they use this gift of being able to feel things deeply to almost manipulate situations to their advantage and as an excuse to be selfish and act like they're the only person in the world who has ever been through hardship. And that makes them kind of like play the victim in a lot of circumstances. I'm getting that this can be a really manipulative person. They use their capacity for deep emotions as a way to control other people to some capacity. With adaptability coming through, I'm getting mutable sign energy. So mutable signs could be significant. It could be this person's sun, moon, or rising, or just a significant placement in their chart. Absolutely doesn't have to be. It's just a little bit of extra confirmation if you feel like this person is quite mutable in nature. I feel like this mutability could even just be in reference to their personality as a whole. I feel like they have a lot of versions of themselves and they adapt to different situations and present themselves in different lights depending on who they're interacting with. And obviously, a lot of us do this to a degree. Like our work self isn't the same as our self who goes out and socializes with our friends or something like that. We can all put on a mask to some capacity, but with this person, it's like on another level. I think they are quite a creative person. This could be somebody who has a creative career or something like that. They can be quite artistic in that sort of Pisces way. However, they are also creative with the truth, and that includes the truth of who they are. The way they like to present themselves isn't in alignment always with the reality of who they actually are. And I think they are very liberal, very creative with what impression of themselves they give, and it can be different depending on who they're with. But also, I feel like they often manipulate or twist narratives in order to make themselves the victim and make other people the problem. And honestly, this is just like a deception. I think they present themselves, it's like they are purposely deceptive, but I think it's with elements of truth. So I don't know, like, I think a part of them almost tried to lure you in with a display of vulnerability, but it's like this display of vulnerability was inauthentic to some extent. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't mean if they were struggling with their mental health or something, or, if their last relationship ended and they said that they were really struggling. I don't think that is untrue. I think they were struggling. I think this is the kind of person who will be honest about their struggles, and you kind of were put in a position where you had no choice to believe it because the feelings that they described are maybe things that you've been through, and maybe you said to yourself, like, well, this person really has been through it because I know exactly how that feels, and the way they describe it, like, it just hit because I've been through that as well or something. And it's like they were being honest about the emotions that they felt, but they weren't, honest about how they ended up in that situation, what they did to cause that situation. So if this is a relationship breakdown, they could have talked about how, this person who they were in a previous relationship with left them and they were brokenhearted, how hurt they felt, how rejected they felt, or something like that. And all of that could be true, but maybe they don't mention that they cheated on this person or they betrayed this person, and that's what led to that other person treating them that way. They completely miss out that bit because they want you to have one certain view of them, but it's not the whole truth. It's like they tell some of the truth but then leave the rest of it out very conveniently. They are very stealthy and smart and cunning and intelligent in what they do tell you and what they don't tell you, and I think for a period of time this lured you in. And I'm not at all undermining your intelligence in any way, pal one. I do think because you are, someone who feels things very deeply, I think you have a huge capacity for empathy, for compassion. And I think all you wanted to do was to offer justice to this person for all that they had been through. If these were things that they were talking about with you, you wanted to make this person feel safe. You wanted them to feel like they could be vulnerable with you. You allowed them to have that safe space because you are a genuinely good and generous and caring and warm person. But this person took advantage of that because they, in a way, could sense that you are that kind of person. So they changed some of their behavior to adapt to that. I won't be that surprised if they are still kind of using the same methods to lure you back in. For example, posting little sob stories on social media, or even, say they have a cold or something like that, or they're feeling a bit run down. They could be the kind of person who's posting on social media, practically making out like they're dying, trying to garner sympathy, particularly trying to seek your attention in that way, when really, like, it's just a cold, get over it. And they know this, like, they know that they're not dying or whatever it is that they're making out, but they still post this kind of thing, hoping that you will pop up to them and offer some sympathy and give them compassion because they really miss your compassion. But at the time that they had it, they didn't really do anything to respect it. Pisces/Neptune energy can often talk about illusion, deception, a distorted view, people seeing what they want to. So maybe this version of this person that they presented you with, it's like they forced you to see what you wanted to see due to this version that they were playing. This person could be a very good actor, could be extremely good at playing a certain role. On the surface, this person could come across as incredibly charming, cute, friendly, non-threatening, maybe humble at first. I don't know why I'm getting that, but it's like I think this person really at first made you feel as though like you were too good for them, like they really maybe had a self-deprecating sense of humor, something that like made you trust them a little bit more, and they didn't come across as objectively arrogant or anything like that when interacting with people. And I do believe that this person does have genuine insecurities. I mean, it's pretty obvious because why else would they be doing this stuff if they didn't? So some of that was genuine, but also it's like they had this other side. And it also makes me think like with the ivy, when I was researching a little bit about ivy, it mentioned that there are like 12 to 15 different species. And that just made me think that like this could be, it could be that this person plays like 12 to 15 different roles in their life, depending on who they're interacting with, like what one person sees, you would never get to see, or something like that. And then it also made me think of like poison ivy. Like, you don't know what version of this person you were going to be getting the more you got to know them. Maybe they had a mask on at first, but when this mask sort of started falling away, it's like you saw more of the other versions of this person, and some of them were toxic and poisonous. Some of them were just like a way of behaving that you really didn't like and didn't agree with, and more of this started to slip out with this person, and it really made you think like, wow, like they aren't who I thought they were, or something like that. I'm also getting like, because of this person, potentially seeming non threatening on the surface, I'm getting at first like maybe this person wasn't your type. And because they presented themselves in one certain way, it's not that you weren't attracted to them, but it's maybe like the attraction grew. Maybe they weren't your type at first, but due to their friendliness, their charm, their sort of fixation on you, you were kind of lured in, you got to know them a bit more, and you gave them a chance. Like they weren't for you at first, but you gave them a chance. And you kind of wish you hadn't, because it was you who ended up heartbroken over them and their behavior, even though they weren't your usual type to begin with, or something like that. I think this person maybe always knew that you were too good for them, and they kind of wanted to prove that they could get you. But then it's like when they got you, they played little mind games, um, almost to try and break you down. I think this is due to their own trauma and their own maybe inability to form a healthy relationship, due to their own attachment style, which probably, I think we can see isn't very healthy. But it's like this is more just confirmation for you that if this person tried to play games with you, try to test you to see how far your compassion would go for them, it's almost like pushed you away with their behavior, then it is that person who now is desperate to get your attention because you have removed that attention. And it's not that you didn't feel compassion for this person, because I think your compassion is almost never ending, but it's like you realize that it came a point where you had to have boundaries. And if it came between, constantly giving in to this person and constantly being on eggshells and worrying about the next game that they would play, if it came between that and focusing on your own mental health, you had to take the plunge and focus on your own mental health and your own growth and your own boundaries. This person could have really tried to push you to their limits with their games, testing you. And, we're not in high school. Well, hopefully you're not. If you are in high school, go and do your homework or something. Yeah, it's like we're not in high school anymore and we don't need to be playing these silly games. But it's like this person did it from a place of trauma, because in their, like, I don't think they realize this, but deep in their subconscious, there is something inside them that tells them that everyone will leave or abandon them. So it's almost like they play these games. They could have had like abandonment issues in terms of a parental figure or something like that, but it's almost like they play these games because they're like pushing you to abandon them. So then they can turn around and say, well, look, everyone just leaves me, everyone abandons me. But what they aren't taking on board, it's that it's their behavior that has led to that situation. Like, you can't just push people to their absolute limits and just blame it on trauma. It's just kind of annoying how this person is thinking that they're the only person in the world who deals with abandonment issues. Like, you could have very well had your own abandonment issues or something like that. You could have dealt with this trauma, but it's like you're not going out there hurting people deliberately. And it's like this person, I don't think they've done enough of their healing, but they can't just, expect to show back up in your life and for things to return to normal, because that's not fair on anyone, and it's especially not fair on you. So yeah, I just keep wanting to talk about foxes. Because on the exterior, foxes, they can come across as friendly. I've seen that people have domesticated foxes. I think foxes are gorgeous. I think they are so, so cute. I love all animals, but foxes are just absolutely beautiful. And I'd honestly love to befriend one and to cuddle one if I could. However, I also have chickens. So, as much as I find foxes cute and as much as I'd like to cuddle them, would I invite a fox into my chicken coop? Would I trust them? Probably not. And I think that is the vibe that this person is giving. It's like they're charming, they're cute, they're friendly, they can talk the talk, they can tell you what you want to hear, but would you actually trust them? And I think no, in a lot of circumstances. I keep getting the phrase you wouldn't want a fox in your hen house, like you wouldn't want a fox in your chicken coop or something like that. So maybe that is confirmation for you if you are kind of regretting letting this person in, like letting them into your inner space. I've seen ivy described as a rampant, clinging, evergreen vine. So it just makes me think how ivy can creep and sneak into all areas, like infiltrate all areas. And it could be that you are regretting letting this person infiltrate certain aspects of your life, because that would give them the access to kind of know how to hurt you. And now it's like, even in this separation, there's a reason why you can't be fully rid of them. They are still trying to infiltrate themselves into your life, they are still trying to creep into your life. They are maybe being sneaky about it, maybe still playing games, being in this kind of fox like energy. With the Neptune energy showing up as well on the shadow side of Neptune slash Pisces, it can kind of be associated with addictions. It could be that this person had some kind of addiction. Doesn't have to be the case. I mean, even if it is an addiction, it doesn't have to be something obvious like alcohol or substance abuse. It could be the case, but equally, it could be the case that, this person and you had a difficulty if they were addicted to explicit content or something like that, adult content, and this was a source of concern within your relationship. Or it could even be that this person is just addicted to drama. They can never have like a safe, normal, healthy relationship because they are so addicted to wanting to play games. And in their mind, it is their way of like trying to spice things up. But really, it is just a form of self sabotage. And as much as they have the ability to hurt other people, ultimately, the ones they are hurting most is themselves. And I feel they are definitely heartbroken in their own way over this situation. But it's like, do they have enough self knowledge to be able to do better in the future? I'm not sure, because it is still like they're in the energy of trying to play these games, and that's how they're trying to win you back and get your attention and re infiltrate your life. So that is what I'm getting for the oracle portion of your reading, Pal One. We are just going to finish this portion of the reading by rolling the astro dice for a little bit of further confirmation. Please bear with me and we'll do that now. Okay, Pal One, so over here we have the sixth house. It was upside down, so I wasn't sure if it was the ninth house, but it has a little dot there, so it is actually the sixth house. We have Gemini here, and we have the south node here. So interestingly, with us having the sixth house and also the south node, the south node can talk a lot about what feels comfortable, what feels familiar to us, about habits. And the sixth house can also be about habits. It can be about our everyday routine. It could be that this person very quickly became a part of your routine. And even if they weren't your type at first, or like weren't your type on paper or something like that, Love Island reference there, it's like they infiltrated your space very quickly. They became a big part of your life. And when, the illusion was shattered, when you had to end things with this person or they ended things, it's like you were left bereft because they had become such a big part of your everyday life. But now it's like the tables are turning. They are starting to have some realizations that they would like to get you back and get your attention. And I don't think it's working because they're still, in the energy of playing games and not being accountable for their actions. The South Node could also refer to this person's instincts, like it is just their instinct to sabotage things because they have not done their own healing work. It is their instinct to ruin anything good because they don't believe that they're truly worthy of having anything good in their life. So this could be an explanation of why they sort of sabotage things with you. We're getting a lot of Mercury coming through with the 6th house being associated with Virgo and obviously the Gemini coming through. You know, this could indicate that this person can be quite intelligent and quick-witted in some ways. This could be the kind of person who just always knows what to say at the right moment, and that comes back to, you know, them being quite charming with their words or something like that. It could be that this person knows how to talk the talk, but maybe their actions don't match their words or something like that. And also with Gemini, it's sort of solidifying that point that this person could have multiple sides to them. Like they could be on the shadow side of Gemini. No Gemini slander here, by the way. Like, I love Geminis. But on the shadow side, you know, they can be associated with having two sides or being two-faced or something like that. So it could be that, you know, this person can be two-faced in the things they say versus the things they do. With the 6th house, it could also be that, you know, this person is into fitness, they are into looking after their body, maybe they spend a lot of time in the gym, or you met in the gym, or you met them at work, because it can also be associated with work or the things that we do every day. So maybe, you know, you met them at work or at a place where you go frequently or every day, like it's part of your routine, and that is where you met them. So that is just a little bit of extra confirmation of who this could be. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know who it is by now, but if that gives you a bit of extra confirmation, I am happy to do that. That is what the Astro Dice is here for, mainly. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate. So that is what I'm getting for you with the Oracle portion of your reading, Pal 1. We are going to move along to the Tarot, so please bear with me and we will get started on the Tarot. I'll see you in your Tarot reading, Pal 1. Hi Pal 1 Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's just get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, so we have got Temperance, we have the 9 of Swords, we have the King of Swords reversed, we have the Page of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, we have the 6 of Cups, and we have the Hanged Man. So Pal 1, with this being the first card that came out, looking at Temperance now, that definitely makes me feel as though this person is desperate to get you to notice them. Again, because I definitely feel like this is somebody who has been in your life, possibly out of your life at the moment, but this person is desperate to get your attention because you are somebody who has brought them a sense of calm that they have never ever experienced before. Possibly you were this person's first example of a healthy relationship. And if you're thinking, well, nosy witch, like it wasn't a healthy relationship because this person had some toxic tendencies, I'm saying what you brought to them, this sense of serenity, this sense of calmness, tranquility, you brought peace to their life, even if they gave you problems, and we will go on to this, but it's like you brought them this sense of peace that they have never ever experienced before, and a part of them is craving to get that back if that is currently not a part of their life at the moment. But ultimately it seems like they had access to this peace at one point or another and they sabotaged it. It's like they were addicted to drama, they were addicted to creating these difficult situations. And again, I keep getting something through about this person testing you, like pushing you to your limits, testing you to see how much you will put up with, how much you will take, how much you can tolerate until you are pushed to your limits and you are forced to abandon this situation or abandon this person. It's like everything was a test for them. The 6 of Cups coming through is definitely making me feel as though there was some element of this person feeling as though they could find healing with you and still craving that. There's also something coming through about this person experiencing a lot of pleasure with you. It could have been that this person generally had a lot of fun with you. This could be in terms of like an intimate way, like physically they experienced the most pleasure when they were with you, and maybe they are missing that. Now, for some of you, it might actually be that this person was in an intimate way more concerned with their own pleasure. Maybe this person turned out to be quite selfish. And just going back to what we said in the oracle reading, if that is the case, it's like this person says one thing and then they do another. So perhaps at the start of your relationship with this person, if you were intimate with them in a physical way, It could have been that this is the kind of person who really goes all out to try and please you in that way, or they say something like, oh, you know, like I much prefer my partner to be satisfied in that way, like I care more about my partner than I do myself, or something like that. They brag about their skills in the bedroom or something like that. And then when you actually were with this person for a significant period of time, it could be like that petered out, and instead they will prioritize their own needs and not care too much about yours or something like that. Obviously, that's only going to apply to a few people, but there was just something coming through about them like taking you for granted, like being selfish, prioritizing their pleasure, and they therefore experienced a lot of pleasure when they were with you, but they didn't care as much about you in the long run, in the long term, or something like that. I definitely think this person is desperate to get your attention because ultimately they felt safe with you in a way that they don't always feel with other people. Maybe you, like we said, from their perspective, it was the first healthy relationship that they had, the way that you showed up in that relationship at least. They felt safe with you, but that was part of the problem because this person is used to dysfunction. I don't know whether this is due to a family situation or due to, I don't know, an attachment style, something they have learned in childhood potentially, a way to be where they just can't always commit to safe and stable relationships. It's like something in them is constantly craving this dysfunction, craving drama, and that's why they try to create these dramatic situations. It's like almost to prove themselves right, that they can't feel truly safe in a relationship and that things always have to go wrong or that they will always be abandoned or something like that. I definitely feel like this person has massive abandonment issues, but ultimately they are the ones, you know, sabotaging things. And I know we mentioned a little bit about this person twisting narratives in the oracle portion of the reading, and I'm definitely still getting that sense in the tarot as well. Definitely, I think this person is portraying an image of them being quite nonchalant about this separation or about you ending things. They are portraying themselves as having this lifestyle that they definitely don't have. And this could be like if you still have access to this person on social media, or if, you know, people feed things back to you about what this person has been up to, if you have mutual friends or acquaintances or something like that. And I really get the sense that you just want to sort of move on from this situation, and perhaps that is something that has been happening. Perhaps you have been thinking about starting dating other people again, and that has been a massive source of upset and heartbreak for this person, because definitely they are heartbroken by the situation and a lot more than what they're letting on, like with this Nine of Swords. I think this person again is quite unwilling to let you go, and I think they will go to some quite irrational lengths in order to manipulate you into speaking with them again. I think they're trying to present as this Page of Wands, like they're okay, they're fearless, they're extroverted, they are going out and going on all these adventures, trying new things, doing this, that, and the other. But really, I think they are the King of Swords reversed. I think they are trying their best to control the narrative, control how you see them, so that you will have one perspective of them. Whether that's just they want you to interpret them as being okay, or whether this is actually a ploy to try and get you back and make you feel as though they've changed, I'm not sure, but I know that either way, whether they are hiding the fact that they want you back or not, they are definitely still fixated on you. And I think they would be very, very upset if they thought that you were talking to other people in a romantic way. Now, that could be the case for some of you with this Ace of Cups. It could be that there are new feelings between you and someone else and things are going well, and maybe this person, you know, has this deep-seated desire to come in and try and sabotage things or to sabotage your progress if they are seeing you happy and moving on. Equally, it could just be that you are putting your energy into new creative projects and you are finding new things to become excited about. Like, you have done your healing, you have done your growth, you are far removed from this situation and you don't really want to look back. And it's like maybe, you know, this situation has finally hit this person and they are just getting more and more down the more they think about how they lost you and the things that they did to sabotage this. But it's like they don't fully admit the extent of their actions to themselves or something like that. Now, it could be that this is the kind of person who jumped into another new relationship really quickly following the breakup, and maybe that isn't working out the way that this person planned. Because I think it could be one of two things. So the main messages that I'm getting, and obviously I know it's going to be different for every single individual person who's watching this, but the main message that I'm getting is that either this person ultimately broke things off with you to go after someone else, and things aren't working, things aren't the way they expected, they're not the way they planned, between them and this other person, and now they are remorseful that they tried to put this other person first and that they lost you. Or it could just be that, you know, things ended, you had to leave this person or you broke up with them or something like that, and then they got into a rebound relationship extremely quickly, and again, that is not working out the way they planned, but it's like they put on this show. So it could be that, you know, they are playing happy families with this person on social media or something like that, or posting about them a lot. And a lot of this could be like to get your reaction, to make you feel like they're happy when they're really, really not. And especially, you know, if they were the kind of person where they never posted about you, like when you were in a relationship, it's like they're doing this to purposely get a reaction. They are trying to wind you up or something like that. It could also be that this is the kind of person, if it's not that, like something that they are posting on social media, it could be that they are talking to your friends and family about you or trying to get information, even something as sort of blasé as like, oh, how is pal one doing? Just trying to get information from the people around you, or even messaging your friends and family or something like that. But I feel like still they are not being honest about what went down, because again, this is the kind of person to sort of put on a little bit of a sob story when they talk to people about what happened and not really admit their part to play. So yeah, this person definitely still has a lot of work to do, because again, it's like they use their trauma as an excuse to escape accountability, but ultimately they were quite cold to you in the process. They didn't realize the trauma that their behavior might cause you. It's like they were more concerned about themselves. There's definitely an element of selfishness with this person, and definitely an element of playing the victim. I'm also definitely getting something about people starting to be more clued up about their game. So, especially if they have got with this new person to either try and get your reaction, or if things like if they have repeated similar things that they did with you to this person, it's like this other person might be realizing that. And might be clued on to their games, and that could be like why things aren't working with them and this new person. That might only apply to a few people, but it is just something that's coming through. I'm also getting something about maybe them being with this other person for financial benefit. It could be that at one point you had to take care of this person financially, or they relied on you a lot, or they asked to borrow money. And if they didn't do that with you, it's like they could be doing that with the new person. They could be sort of using them as somebody to sponge off financially or something like that. But the way they are presenting themselves, I keep getting something about social media, and it doesn't have to be, but it's like the way they are manipulating how they look to others, something about that. So that's why I keep thinking of social media. Like if they are posting pictures of themselves or of having this certain lavish lifestyle, like if they've got a new car or something like that and they're posting that, or they're posting pictures of themselves and they appear to be looking really good and doing really well. That is not the reality. It's like if you saw this person in person compared to their pictures, they do not look anything like that. You will be surprised at how tired this person looks, how anxious, how disheveled. They are not looking their best at the moment because they are not feeling their best without you. And like, you know, if they are trying to portray this certain lifestyle of like they're going on this holiday or they've got this car, it's like they've borrowed money off someone else in order to be able to do that. And maybe they've gone into debt or something, or like the car is on finance or something like that, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, obviously, you know, living is hard, the cost of living. I think it's affecting us all. There's nothing wrong with buying a car on finance or anything like that. But with this person, it's like they're making out that they have got these things based on their own success and they've been able to pay for these things outright, when that really, really isn't the case. They are definitely manipulating the narrative with that. It could be that this person has just jumped into a new relationship very quickly because they feel as though they have won if they are the ones who aren't on their own. Like they feel it would be better to be with somebody who they don't really like very much than to be independent and have to be seen on their own, because it feels like they think that that will solidify their opinion that they weren't the problem in your relationship or something like that. But I think people are very wise to these games. I don't think people buy into it. With the Hanged Man, you know, this does indicate that this person has got some perspective since this separation occurred. It's like this person has had chance to kind of sit back and assess things, but I feel as though they still lack accountability, and that is the overarching problem with this energy, because this person, you know, they have been heartbroken, they have been anxious, they have been depressed over this, but it's like they still won't admit the part that they had to play. They just continue to play victim. They know that they still want to be in your life. They know that they want to get your attention. They know that they don't want to see you moving on and happy with someone else. However, I don't think they've challenged their own toxic behavior enough in order to be able to actually create positive change and actually have a healthy relationship with themselves or anyone else. So that appears to be the main problem here. We are just going to close this reading with a little bit of advice from the Soul Truth Oracle, so please bear with me and we'll have a look at what you got, Pal 1. Okay, Pal 1. So the Oracle card that we got is, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? And then on the back, it says, to create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings and believe we are worthy of them. In your relationships, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin. When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you are an empath, you can still be compassionate towards others without taking on their stuff. It is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. Today's mantra, I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what's best for me. This card actually makes so much sense for you, Pal 1, especially with the boundaries. And I keep getting that phrase of like, I can't remember exactly what the phrase is, but basically, the most important relationship we will ever have is the relationship that we have with ourselves. And I know when you are a compassionate person, when you do have a lot of empathy, when you want to help people, it can be easy to fall into the trap of, just focusing on that person solely because you want so badly to kind of save them, you want to fix them, you really do just want to help them because you are a kind and loving and warm person. But ultimately, you cannot do that person's work for them. They have to be willing to do that work. And some people, no matter how hard you try to help them, you try to save them, they are just not ready to do that work. And if they're not ready, then they aren't ready, and there is very little you can do to change that until that person wants to create change. You can only go so far with assisting people on their own healing journey, but you can't do the healing for them. It just cannot happen. It doesn't work that way as much as you want to. You cannot save someone by loving them, because I feel like a lot of this relationship, I definitely think you understood this person incredibly well. Maybe some of the things that they went through, you went through, maybe there was some kind of mirroring. So it's like you understood them better than anyone, but that also meant that you sometimes made allowances for them that weren't fair to you. It wasn't fair to your needs and desires. It's like you were putting this person first at the expense of your mental health and at the expense of looking after you. And that's where things, if your energy is constantly depleted because of what you put into this relationship with this person, if it is destroying your soul to, keep tolerating these certain behaviors, that is going to slowly erode your sense of safety over time. And that is, you are worthy of more. Like, you do not have to put up with that. You are worthy of so much more. So I think reminding yourself of your boundaries and that it's okay to say no to people, it's okay to not tolerate certain behaviors, it's okay to listen to people's excuses, to tell them that you understand, to advocate for their needs, but equally, if they can't offer you the same respect in return, it doesn't mean that you have to put up with bad behavior. And I think that is something that you are definitely starting to understand. And hopefully, this separation has helped to strengthen your boundaries. But when it comes to this person, if you know that they aren't showing up in the energy that you need them to, it is okay to refuse to compromise on your morals. And it is okay to maintain that distance where it is needed. And it's okay to not want to be with somebody if they can't even meet you part way. That is what I'm getting for you, Pal 1. I really hope this reading offered some clarity. I know some of these messages weren't the easiest, but I do hope that it gave you some confirmation. If it did, please let me know. If anything resonated, please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate that. If you get a chance, please like the video, please comment, and please subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me, and I would appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here, Pal 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 2 Collective. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Magic of Tarot deck and you chose the purple cow sticker with the flower, this will be your reading. This reading is titled Who Wants to Get Your Attention? Who is desperate to get you to notice them, and why? So, as usual, the first part of the reading will be an oracle reading. So, what we are actually going to do is put the tarot deck to one side for now, and we are just going to look at these three pre selected oracle cards. And then in the second portion of the reading, that will be your tarot reading. So, we will go into more depth then. If you would like further information regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction. You can also go to the pinned comment below, or you can go to the description box below to find out more. With all of that said, we are about to get started. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it so much. Thank you for liking the video, thank you for commenting, and thank you to every single person who subscribes. Me being such a small channel, every new subscriber just means the absolute world to me. I notice you all. Thank you for being here, and I just really do appreciate it so much. If you haven't done any of the aforementioned, but you like my channel, you like my style of content, and you want to see more, or you want to make any suggestions, please feel free to do any of the things mentioned. It would all just help me so much, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and we'll get started with the reading. Okay, pal two, let's have a look what we've got. So we have got the Rooster and Sunflower, communication. We have got stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. And we have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So similarly to pal one, I definitely feel as though this is a person who you have significant history with. I think it could either lean romantic, or this could even be somebody who you are friends with. There could even be elements of both. For example, this could be somebody who started off as a friend, and maybe there were some romantic interest or intentions expressed, and maybe it became more at one point, but you weren't officially together or something like that. Perhaps a friends with benefit situation. However, that doesn't have to be the case. This could either be a full-on relationship, or it could just be a platonic friendship, but definitely someone who you were close to at one point and something went wrong. There was a falling out of some kind. On your end, I very much feel as though this felt like a shock. This felt like something that was a betrayal, like this person betrayed your trust. Maybe you have always sensed some red flags with this person, particularly if it's a friendship, like maybe in terms of, you know, the way they behaved with other people, or the way they behaved in their relationship or something like that. If they had any bad or toxic behaviors, maybe you did pick up on these, because I do believe you have a good sense of intuition, but perhaps you tried to ignore these things because you got on with this person really well, and because you thought that they were down for you, like you thought they were on your team, on your side, but you learned something about this person that really shocked you and changed your perspective of them, and it felt like a betrayal. So it's like you knew that they could be a bit toxic sometimes, but ultimately you had a lot of fun with them, so maybe you tried to ignore it, and then they did something to you, and it's like, oh, well, I knew they could do bad stuff sometimes, but I didn't think they would do me like this, because it's like the two of you were down for each other, like you felt as though you had each other's backs, and it turns out that this person did something where you felt as though you had been stabbed in the back. They weren't on your side anymore, or something like that. I know this might only apply to a small minority of people, but it could be something to do with work, like you worked with this person and maybe they went behind your back and told management about something you'd done, like they'd snitched on you, or like they'd done something but they'd blamed it on you to management or something like that. I'm getting something about this person snitching on you in a way that you just thought they never would do, because maybe you thought, like, in terms of the trust between you and this person, you know all of this person's secrets, and you could have easily betrayed their trust or stabbed them in the back had you wanted to. Like, you could spill all the tea, you could give everyone all the gossip, you could tell a lot of people a lot of things about this person, but you never did. Like, you would never snitch on them or anything like that, but they didn't have the same respect for you, and it really shocked you, because again, you thought that you were like down for each other, you thought that you were close friends, or if this was your partner, like you thought that it was just you two against the world, and then this person, you know, did something to really shock you and really hurt you. They behaved in a way that wasn't very becoming. So the relationship or the friendship ended due to some betrayal. For some of you, it might be a bigger betrayal than with others, but nevertheless, it was something that left you feeling heartbroken. It left you feeling a lot of pain. You felt as though you were deceived, and it came as a shock, like you didn't expect it. You didn't expect things to end this way, but ultimately it has led to a separation. If this was a relationship, this could be you literally breaking up with this person. Or if this is a friendship, this is a friendship breakup, like you no longer being friends with this person, you taking some time away from them. If this is someone you see at work or something like that, maybe you literally do not talk to this person anymore, you don't engage with them. Or if it is a friend, but you still have each other on social media or something like that, it could be that, you have been ignoring their messages or you just haven't engaged with them. Like there's been this fallout, there's been this period of silence, a period of you and this person not speaking. But I'm definitely getting the sense with this new moon in Libra, it's like this person wants to come back in a more balanced and rational and calm way, and they want to kind of get back into your circle. It's like they want to try and approach you in this new non-confrontational energy, because I do get the sense that this person could potentially be quite confrontational. Like with this rooster and sunflower communication coming through, I definitely think this is somebody who maybe sometimes speaks without thinking, like they speak first and then they think later, and they are not shy in terms of voicing their opinions and making themselves heard. So it could be that this has got them in trouble in the past, or this has led to them being, maybe quite brash in terms of the way they articulate themselves. This is the kind of person who might come across as quite confident on the surface, even if they aren't internally. I'm getting something about this person being quite bold, being quite expressive. They could be somebody who talks with their hands or who moves around a lot or who is very expressive. Just something about the way they talk. It could be that they are generally quite loud, like they talk quite loudly, or they have a distinctive or loud laugh. It's like everybody in the room knows that they're there. They make themselves heard. It could even be like, I know this is a very specific example, but the kind of person this is, it's like the kind of person who, if they came home after a night out or something like that and they've been drinking, they wouldn't come home quietly. They'd be the type to be quite clumsy and they'd be bashing around and they'd wake everyone in the house up when they came in or something like that. They are not always the most careful, the most cautious, and they make themselves heard and they make themselves known, and when they're around, it's like other people know about it. It could even be like in terms of their general personality, they could post quite frequently on social media, or they could be like a little bit attention seeking in the things they post, or it's like they give too much information out in terms of their lives or something like that. This is very much somebody who wants to be known, and I feel like a lot of the reason they want to get your attention is because they feel like you stand out and shine brightly too. But it's this same thing, like the same things that they like about you, it's also the things that cause conflict within them, because there's this sense of competition with this person, and this could still be a romantic partner. It could be that, this person likes to see themselves on a certain level, and they also see you shining brightly, and they see themselves as wanting to be with somebody like you because you are on their level and you stand out as well. But it's like they don't want you to stand out too much, like not more than them or something like that. And this could be somebody who comes across as quite jealous and competitive with you. It's like they know that you stand out, but they don't want you to stand out more than them. I'm also getting something about like with the sunflowers coming up, I'm getting something about do you know like when you do those projects in school where you plant like a sunflower seed and then you take it home and then you see how much your sunflower grows, and then you have to bring it back in towards the end of term and measure how big your sunflower has gotten in class. I don't know whether anybody else did that. If you went to a school in England, you might have done. But I remember doing that like years ago in primary school. So it's something about like them comparing their sunflower to your sunflower, and they don't want your sunflower to be taller than their sunflower or something like that. And I'm just getting that sort of competitive nature with like the rooster coming through as well, because roosters with other roosters can fight to assert their dominance. And I'm getting that this is a behavior that this person may have engaged in, and that could have led to some conflict between the two of you. There's something about this person maybe being territorial. So it could be they got territorial with their partner or something like that, and they for some reason felt like you were romantic competition, even if that was not on your agenda at all. Like even if that is something that this person was just paranoid about and not anything that you had done on your end. But it could be that that led to a breakdown of yours and this person's relationship or friendship or something like that, it led to a lot of arguments. It doesn't have to be in terms of a romantic interest, like that doesn't have to be the case at all. It could just be that this person felt territorial in any way, like they just didn't want to see you doing better than them or something like that. But with this new moon in Libra coming through, I'm definitely getting that this person would like to reopen a dialogue with you. If there has been silence, I think this person wants to break the silence. They could have been trying to do this, maybe trying to approach you in this different energy. I'm not sure just yet, but this person could have been working on themselves. But it's like they now want to approach you in this more charming energy. It could be that they are trying to win you back. It could be that if the two of you still have each other on social media or something like that, if you haven't blocked this person and they haven't blocked you, like you still are accessible to each other in that way, it could be that they are frequently trying to message you, trying to restart a conversation, because I think they see what you added to their life and that you did add a lot of value. I think they see themselves as being quite prosperous when they are around you. It's like they see themselves as shining brightly when they are also with somebody who shines brightly the way that you do. But equally, those were the things that made them jealous. And maybe this is something that they have started to realize and they have started to work on those aspects of themselves. I think they definitely know that they miss you and they would like to, like reopen that dialogue. They would like to talk to you again. And maybe this is somebody who is like, they are just trying to start conversations about anything. And maybe they are trying to bring up the past and make you feel nostalgic. So it's like if you post something on your story, they will reply. And it's like they reply to it in a way that tries to remind you of like the friendship or the relationship that you guys had. So I don't know if this is a friend from the past or something like that, and you post a story on Instagram and you say like, I don't know, the story could just be like a picture of your coffee or something like that. If you go to Starbucks and you get a coffee and you post that, and this person could reply to it saying something like, oh my god, like it's so you to get this flavor of coffee, like do you remember when we went to Starbucks and this happened and this, like they will just try and bring it back to them to try and get you to reminisce on the memories that you and this person shared. They always bring it back to them, even if it is something very mundane that everyone does, like getting coffee or whatever. They just try to make it clear how well they know you or how well they once knew you, and they try to bring every conversation back to that. And this could be their way of, trying to get back into your life again, slowly but surely, trying to like creep their way back in. That is what I'm getting for the oracle portion of your reading, pal one. We are just going to finish this portion of the reading by rolling the astro dice, so we'll see what we get. This is just going to be a little bit of extra confirmation for you that you chose the right pile, so please bear with me and we'll have a look at what we get. Pile 2. Okay, pal 2, so we have the moon here, we have the 10th house, and we also have Capricorn showing up. So we've got moon, 10th house, and Capricorn. It could be something to do with a work setting, definitely. I know I mentioned that as an example in the oracle, but I know it's not going to be taken literally in every single scenario. But I am definitely getting, with both Capricorn and the 10th house showing up, there is something about professional development here. Of course, it's not going to be the case for every single person, but for some of you, it could be that this person betrayed you in the sense that you were both competing for the same job. I'm getting something like you applied for a job, or you told this person about the job, and then they went behind your back and applied for it, but then maybe they lied to you about this, and that felt like a betrayal. Obviously, I know that's not going to apply to very many people, so just take that as it resonates, but it's like, this person went behind your back and stabbed you in the back in a way that felt extremely unprofessional. It could also be that, this is a colleague who is also a friend, or a colleague who you had some kind of relationship with. It could be that this person's ambition and their competitive streak can get in the way. I'm getting something about fire energy coming through, but it could also be Capricorn energy. Also maybe Cancer with the moon showing up. Moon is usually associated with the family and home, so it could be that actually you are related to this person. Again, doesn't have to be the case, but it could be like a sibling or a cousin or an auntie or something like that, somebody who you are close to in your family, like somebody who is a family member but also a friend, or like a distant relative or a relative by marriage or something like that. Again, doesn't have to be the case, but it could be that if this person is part of your family, that was a reason why this betrayal felt deeper. Like it felt like it hit more because you were so close to this person. It felt like you were down for each other. And then, you know, this thing happened and it just kind of ruined things. It ruined the relationship that you shared with this person. It felt like you could no longer trust them and you therefore had to like distance yourself. That is what I'm getting for the oracle portion of the reading, pal 2. We are now going to move on to the tarot. I hope you are enjoying the reading so far. We will have a look at the tarot and we will go into a little bit of further detail there. Thank you very much for listening so far, and I'll see you in the tarot. Hi, pal 2 Collective. Welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's just get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, pal 2. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Wands, we have Strength, we have the 6 of Cups, we have Justice in reverse, we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands in reverse, and we have the Empress. Okay, so whatever betrayal this person committed with this Justice card in reverse, it felt like something that was unjust. It felt like something that was very unfair to you. Perhaps this was a way they spoke about you with other people. They betrayed your trust by sharing some secrets of yours, and it felt very unfair because you realized that you could have easily done that to them. You could have badmouthed them. You could have shared, you know, things that they've told you in confidence, but it would go against your morality to do that. And that is just something you wouldn't do. The way this person betrayed you, I know all betrayals feel like an injustice, but something about it felt particularly unjust. It felt like, well, now, you know, people think this about me because of this person or something like that. Maybe they were spreading malicious rumors or just saying things that were outright untrue. And you just never expected this from this person because you thought you were so down for each other. And definitely, I feel as though this person could be going through hardship at the moment, particularly with this 5 of Pentacles. They could be going through a period of unemployment right now. I know I just mentioned in the oracle reading about this potentially being like a colleague of yours, somebody who you work with. It could be that this person is now unemployed, or if they are not unemployed, I think they are just struggling financially. And they realized that their life was much better financially, but in all ways when they were with you, when they were influenced by you. It could have been that you actually really took this person under your wing, because I think you are a very nurturing person, and I think this person sees you that way with this Empress card. Regardless of the kind of relationship that you and this person shared, whether it was a friendship, whether it was a relationship, whether it's a sibling, a colleague, or a combination of the above, whoever this is, it's like they saw you as a very caring person. And we did get Cancer coming through when I rolled the Astro dice. So Cancer could be significant to you, or water sign energy in some way. It could be that you have that almost sort of like mothering, knowing exactly the right thing to say, nurturing, warm and comforting energy. It's like you have that beautiful, soft, sensuous energy. So Taurus as well could be significant. Taurus or Cancer is the overall thing that I'm getting with you, but it doesn't have to be significant. You could also be a mother. Again, you don't have to be, but it could be like you have that almost like the Midas touch, like you know how to look after people, to take care of them, to nurture them, and to take them under your wing. And it's like maybe you really supported this person in that way, and they always came to you for advice, for a shoulder to cry on, for someone to lean on, and you really took care of them. And it's like they threw it back in your face. And there was an element where you kind of felt like, you know, after everything I've done for you, and it's not like you do these things with the intention of like, I'm going to treat you in a nice way so that I get something back. It is not transactional in that sense, but it's just you didn't expect this person to hurt you the way they did, to just suddenly turn their back on you. I'm getting something about them turning their back on you. But it could be due to this sense of insecurity that this person feels with themselves. Like with this 5 of Wands, I'm getting that there was a lot of competition and jealousy between you and this person, but I don't think it was necessarily coming from your side. I think this person sees you as very strong, very independent, with the Strength card coming through. They see you as, you know, not lacking anything and not wanting for anything, but they, on the other hand, want for quite a lot. They are constantly doing this game of comparison. And you know, if this is a romantic relationship, it could be the case that this person, I don't know, let's say they have a toxic view in terms of like who should be the breadwinner and like gender roles or something like that. And if you started earning more than them, or you bettered your education and you got like a better paying job and you were earning more for the household, and contributing more, it could be that they felt very undermined and threatened by that. It's like you threatened their territory, like because they felt as though they should be paying like the main share of in the household or something like that. Doesn't have to be the case, this is just one example, but it's like, oh, you're undermining me and you're stepping on my territory because I should be doing this. But at the same time, like they weren't contributing in the way that you were, and you could have been happy to do it. Like you could have been like, well, we both have jobs, I just happen to earn more at the moment and that's okay, like I've got us covered. You could have like not been making a big deal about it, or like you probably weren't making them feel bad if they couldn't contribute as much as you. But it's like this person could have been very toxic about it. Equally, if this is like a friendship where somebody is constantly comparing themselves to you, it could be that if you have undergone like some kind of transformation recently, like I think you have always been attractive, and I think this person has always known this. Again, you have always stood out, you shine brightly, you come across as exuding this independence and self-confidence, this self-sufficiency. But if you have, gone that extra mile recently in terms of upping your self care routine, if you have been on like a fitness journey, or you've just been looking after your skin or your hair, or putting effort into your appearance, or just putting effort into your own personal development, and that has been showing, like it's people can see that you've really been working on yourself, it could be that this person has sensed this and that's made them even more like in this comparison game, because maybe they are like, they want to be around you because you shine brightly, but equally those things that they love about you, it makes them incredibly envious, it also makes them really jealous. So maybe it's like they don't want you to stand out as much as them, it's like they want you to stand out but not as much as them, or something like that. It could also be something to do with this person seeing you as romantic competition. And I don't think you have done anything to make this person feel that way. But it could be that, if this person's romantic interest or romantic partner, a person they are dating or a person who they are with, if that person has flirted with you in front of this person, or they have expressed that you are attractive or you are their type or something like that, it could have been that it's like this person blamed you for their partner or the person that they're dating's behavior. It's like they put the blame on you, or they made you feel isolated all of a sudden because, I don't know, maybe they found out that their partner was attracted to you. And then, even though, like, you might not even be attracted to their partner, you might not have even said that, you might not be interested at all, you might have your own stuff going on, you might be dating someone else. And even if you weren't, I don't think you would want to get with your friend's partner if that is the case or anything like that. Maybe this is all too messy for you and you just don't care about it, like you're not getting involved in that stuff, but it's like this person could have found out their partner was attracted to you somehow, and instead of blaming their partner for being disrespectful, maybe they took it out on you, and they, didn't invite you to events because they were scared that you would look too good or something like that, which is honestly really sad. Like, that's really childish of this person, because ultimately you can't help it. People are going to find you attractive. It might not be like their partner or something. It could even be something like, if you all work together, let's say, it could be somebody who they had a crush on at work, and maybe they, I don't know, I'm getting like this sense of this person pressuring someone to give them the gossip on who they find most attractive. So it could be that, this person was saying to someone at your work, like, oh, go on, like, if you could date anyone in the workplace, like, who would it be? And they were really putting pressure on them. They were like saying, oh, come on, you have to pick someone, like, who would it be? Just tell us. And maybe this person picked you. This person said, like, oh, well, if I had to, date somebody, like, I find pal 2 quite attractive, like, maybe I would ask them or something. So it could just be something that's quite nonchalant, like they've just said it in passing, they're not really thinking too much about it, just that they find you attractive or they find you handsome or pretty or something. And this person, it could have made them really start comparing themselves to you. Maybe this person felt as though the person at work should have picked them, they should have said them, because maybe they are attracted to this person, and they are upset that they picked you. So then it's like they kind of started arguments with you, or they were comparing themselves, they were just acting jealous, they were acting irrational about it. This could be a person who constantly put you down in order to elevate themselves. And I really get the sense that that's just not you. Like, if you are a female, it's like you could be a real girl's girl. You could be the type to, not want to engage in that behavior. But now I feel like this person is trying to approach you in this different energy. And with this Six of Cups, that is reminding me of this person trying to cultivate this sense of nostalgia in order for you to talk to them again, in order for you to want to talk to them again. It's like they're bringing up things from the past in order to get you back on side, in order to try and get back on your team. Maybe they are still avoiding some accountability. Maybe they are just trying to gloss over what happened. They realize they miss you. They realize it was silly, but it's like maybe they aren't, owning up fully to what happened. Maybe they're just trying to sort of slide back into your DMs and meet up again in this charming way. They're trying to bring up things from the past to talk about how it was all so much fun when the two of you were together, but they're missing out the part where they betrayed you in some way. And obviously, if you do feel like this is a relationship worth salvaging, then that's one thing. And I don't necessarily believe in holding grudges forevermore if it's just not necessary. But ultimately, I feel like what's happened between you and this person might not be able to be glossed over just like that. It might not be quite that simple. You guys might need to talk about it. You might need to talk it out, because you could be worried that this situation could happen again. And you are not having that situation happening again because it was unfair the first time. And you're not going to put yourself in a position where, the same thing could occur and you could end up hurt and feeling betrayed again. I just don't think you're going to do that. I feel like this person is putting down a lot of their recent losses to having lost you. It's like they feel as though their life has got harder since they've lost you, since they've not been in your company. And that is probably partially true, because I feel like something about you is, it's like you kept this person on track, you kept them on an even keel. And I don't know, I think they've kind of lost themselves to some extent, and they didn't realize how crucial you were to their lives until you suddenly weren't part of their lives. And now it's like they're regretting this separation to some capacity. So I definitely feel like, again, with this Five of Pentacles, I think this person feels quite isolated at the moment. I'm really getting the sense that they thought they would be fine without you. Maybe, if they tried to infiltrate themselves into a new group of friends, it's like that situation has fallen through. So I don't know. It's obviously going to be different for different people, but for some people, it could be that this person, might have a problem with drinking or getting a bit rowdy or getting a bit out of control and embarrassing themselves when they had a drink. And it could be that a part of why they miss you so much and a part of why they really desperately want to try and get your attention is due to the fact that you always offered a non-judgmental voice of reason. When they did something that was slightly embarrassing, it's like you wouldn't make them feel even worse for it. So for example, if this person went out and got really drunk and couldn't remember what they'd done the next day and felt awful, and they were really worried about ways they might have acted on that night out, it could be that this would be the kind of person to ring you or to just show up at your house, and they were upset and they were like, oh, I have no idea what I did last night, but I think I embarrassed myself. And you would sit them down, you would offer them a cup of tea, you would say, go and take a nap on my sofa, we'll talk about it, I'm sure it's not that bad. And if they kind of had flashbacks or something like that were a little bit embarrassing, again, you wouldn't humiliate them for some of the things that they'd done, but it could be that they are engaging with that more problematic behavior, like they are going out drinking and getting really quite drunk where they are not in control of themselves. And then it's like they have no one to vent to, they have no one to complain to, and they have no one to kind of hold them accountable or talk it through with, because you, that voice of reason, you and them are separated. They can't rely on you for that anymore because they have, burned some bridges with you. So it's like maybe they aren't surrounding themselves with the best people, and maybe, they have ruined some of the friendships because they've done something on one of these nights out to humiliate themselves. And now they are feeling ashamed. They are feeling like they can't come back from it. And they are feeling like the friends they have made aren't supportive in the way that you are or were, or something like that. So I feel like this person really doesn't have very many true friends at the moment. And they are therefore struggling with the loss of you even more, because it's like they don't really have genuine and authentic people around them, sort of putting them on the right track the way that you did. I think with this Nine of Pentacles and with the Empress, I think this person sees you as very self-sufficient, and they see a lot of good things happening when they're around you. They feel like they are the better version of themselves when they are around you. So they therefore want to try and get some of that energy back. So it could be that they are trying to kind of sneak back into your life, being overly nice, maybe messaging you in this, changed persona, this really charming way, being a lot more balanced, being, non confrontational. I keep getting that word. So it's like they are presenting themselves in a way that they feel is like what you want them to be. And I think to some capacity, it's like they have done some inner work, but I feel like they are jumping the gun in the way that they just want things to go back to normal. Like they just want things to flip and suddenly feel back to normal. And it's like that might not be possible without you and this person addressing what has gone wrong in the friendship or relationship beforehand. It's like they can't click their fingers and the trust is restored. If this person has done something to betray you, then the two of you really need to talk that out before, things just get back on track. It can't happen overnight like that, because ultimately it feels like your trust has been broken, and it's going to take a while for that to build back up again, if that's something that you even want. And if you don't, I completely understand. Like, that is your choice, obviously. I'm just telling you what this person's energy is and what they want. So I definitely feel like this person is trying to make conversation whenever they can. If they haven't done that already, it's like that oracle card we got, I can't remember what it said, a new conversation is coming in, new moon in Libra or something like that. It could be that this person suddenly starts becoming very chatty. They suddenly start responding to your stories. They suddenly start interacting with you because they have felt so lost and isolated and abandoned since you haven't been a part of their life anymore. And they just want to restore that friendship or relationship that the two of you had. I think with this King of Wands, this person could have definitely had an inferiority complex, and everything that you did, it's like this person wanted to do better, they wanted to get better, they always felt like they were in this weird competition with you, and I don't think this is something that you created. I don't think it's something that you encouraged. I think you very much encouraged this person to be the best version of themselves, and you just wanted that support back from them, but it's like maybe they didn't feel fully able to offer that because they were always so insecure and full of self-doubt. So it's like they couldn't really show up and be a true friend or a true partner or something like that. That is what I'm getting for you for the tarot portion of your reading, pal 2. We are just going to finish off with some advice from the Soul Truth Oracle, so please bear with me and we'll have a look at what we pulled for you. Okay, pal 2, so the closing advice we have for you from the Soul Truth Oracle is, what if it was easy? And on the back, it says, it doesn't have to be hard. Call in the universe, the stars, the angels, and all their powers. Find the solution. Would you take the next step if it were easy? It's time to expect ease. Call in grace and receive guidance. You are supported. Today's soul action: list 10 possible ideals for your soul's current calling. Lean into ease. It's here. You just have to say yes to it. So I definitely feel like this card is indicating that whatever you decide in relation to whatever you do in life, whatever feels good to you and your soul, but particularly in regards to restoring this relationship, if that is something that you want to happen, I think this is indicating that you are supported no matter what you decide. If you decide with this person that too many bridges have been burned, you don't think you could ever have a healthy friendship or relationship with this person again due to the way that they have treated you, I think that is saying that you need to trust yourself and your own intuition, because ultimately, if you are creating those boundaries, if that is not something that is for your highest good to be back friends or back in a relationship with this person, then you really have to trust yourself. But equally, if you want to give things a chance again, you are also supported on that journey. And just because you give someone another chance, it doesn't mean that you are willing to put up with bad behavior. It could be that things are different this time if this person has done some of their work. However, I would never want to encourage you to stay in a situation that is toxic to your mental well-being. So obviously this is going to depend on a number of circumstances. If this is a big betrayal, if it is something that you can't get over and you think it is best to have this person as far away from you as possible, then I completely understand that. But sometimes it can be better for our mental well-being if we do not hold on to grudges. And by that, I'm not even saying that, you need to be friends with this person again if that is something you don't want. You can forgive this person and still choose to not have a relationship with them going forward. I think this is telling you that no matter what you decide, there is really no wrong option. And also that things can be easy. So, just because this person may have betrayed you, it doesn't mean that everyone in your life will continue to betray you. It doesn't mean that every friendship is going to be like this. If you are worried about, making friendships with other people and you are worried about this sense of competition, I think this is saying that, it doesn't have to be hard. You will make those good, solid, healthy friendships, and it won't always be this sense of competition, this jealousy, this rivalry, this ego. That obviously came from this person, but it doesn't mean that all your relationships going forward are going to be that way. And I don't think that's something you need to be believing about other people, because not everyone has bad intentions for you. Some people do genuinely want to share that healthy friendship or relationship. And just because this person might have hurt you doesn't mean that everyone will. That is what I'm getting for you for the tarot portion of your reading, pal 2. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy the reading, please like the video, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. All of that would mean so, so much to me, and I would just really appreciate it. Thank you for being here, pal 2, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Hi, Pal 3 Collective. If you chose the Midnight City Tarot and you chose the blue cow with the piece of fruit sticker, this will be your reading. This reading is titled Who Wants to Get Your Attention? Who is Desperate to Get You to Notice Them, and Why? If you would like further details regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction, or you could have a look at the pinned comment below or my description box to find out more information. Similarly to my previous readings, the reading will be split into 2 sections. Throughout the first portion of the reading, we will actually look at 3 oracle cards from 3 different decks. The oracle cards are actually underneath the tarot deck. They are pre-selected, so I will just put the tarot deck to one side for now, whilst we start off by looking at these oracle cards. So this will represent the overarching energy, and you can use this section of the reading as confirmation that you chose the right pile. Then in the second portion of the reading, we will look more deeply into this energy by looking at the tarot deck you have selected. At the end of the oracle reading, we are also going to roll the astro dice before we move on to the tarot as well, so that will be a little bit of further confirmation too. Before we get started, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I don't take anything for granted. I notice every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber. I am still a tiny little channel, and I am really trying to focus on growing and just putting out good quality content and things you enjoy. So if you like my content, if you like this style of reading, if you want to make any suggestions going forward, please feel free to do that, but please also try your best to support me. If you do get a chance to like, comment, or subscribe, that would all mean the absolute world, and I would just appreciate it so much. With all of that said, let's get started with the reading and have a look at the oracle cards we pulled for you. Okay, pal 3. So we have got the Finch and Peach romance. We have got paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. And we have got bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. So this is definitely a platonic situation. No, I'm joking. This is definitely potential new romance, and I am very happy to get something positive coming through, because in piles 1 and 2 we were dealing with a little bit of difficult energy, and this energy in particular feels so much lighter, and it feels a lot more new. It feels like there is less history between you and this person, but definitely some kind of spark, definitely some kind of knowing that there is a spark there. This could be somebody who you are currently dating, but it might be the early stages. If it's not somebody who you are already dating, it could be that, a feeling is there, but feelings haven't been expressed outright yet. This could be somebody who you are talking to, but you are just in the talking stages. Or it could be somebody who is coming into your life very soon, somebody who is maybe just a friend at the moment, but they are definitely thinking of you as more than a friend, and they really want to try and get your attention in that kind of way. And maybe they want to take you out. They want to explore things with you in many different ways. So with the imagery on the card and the peach coming through, it's making me feel as though fruit could be significant to you in some way. So this could even be something as simple as, for example, this person eating the same piece of fruit every day. Like you notice if you share a space with this person, like if you work together, you share an office space, they are in your vicinity, if they are one of your colleagues, for example, who you suspect might have some feelings for you. It could be that this person has the same piece of fruit at their break time every single day. And for some of you, this could even be a peach. Maybe they have peaches or you have a peach at your break or something like that. It doesn't have to be specifically a peach, but something about fruit being significant could give you confirmation of who this person is. Or it could be that, this person has undergone a health journey recently and they are trying to eat more fruit. So you notice them eating more fruit at work or something like that, or you are doing a similar thing that could resonate in some way. It could also be that this person sees you as incredibly sweet and they want to be sweet towards you. And I feel as though something about this person, you might misinterpret their sweetness as maybe being like a little bit, I don't want to say fake. I don't think you see this person as fake, but I think you are worried that this person could potentially see you as like a conquest and they are just being sweet to you because they have an ulterior motive. And partially, I think they do have an ulterior motive in terms of they see you as like a ripe, juicy peach. Maybe they have complimented your peach. Maybe there is something very attractive about your bum or something, and they have made a comment about that. But I don't think it's just that they're attracted to. Like, I don't think this is just a superficial thing. I really don't think that is the case. And if you have, thought that, I think that has made you feel possibly a little bit apprehensive about this person and their motivations because maybe you have thought, like, oh, this is just an F boy or girl because of certain things that they say. But I think sometimes this person maybe is just a little bit more socially awkward or a little bit more shy than what you think. And I think with some of the things they say, they are just genuinely trying to impress you and trying to make it clear that they would be interested in you, but it's like they might go about this the complete wrong way. So for some of you, I'm getting like with this Aquarius coming through as well, there is something different about this person, something maybe quirky or unique. It could be in the way they articulate themselves, or it could just be that they do something that is very different to what you have experienced in like relationships in the past. Maybe there is something about them that feels a little bit inexperienced or a little bit immature. They could be younger than you, although this definitely doesn't have to be the case. It could just be that you have more emotional maturity than them. And it's like, this person, it might come across as though they are trying to get your attention and that they crave your validation. And sometimes you feel as though, they just see you as like a conquest. And the reason they're trying so hard is because they want to conquer you. Like they want to have an intimate physical relationship with you, but that's all it is. But I think this person definitely fantasizes about more, particularly like with this paradise card coming through. I think this person definitely fantasizes about getting you on your own. They could even fantasize about taking you on extravagant holidays or something like that, like taking you to paradise. Or they could fantasize about taking you to paradise in a physical sense, like really taking time to make sure that you experience pleasure. However, I definitely feel as though they kind of daydream a lot about, being in an intimate relationship with you that isn't just based on the physical. I think this person very much fantasizes about being romantic with you, about wining and dining you. It could be that this person wants to feed you, they want to cook for you, they want to take you out, or they want to invite you to their house and make you food. It could be that they have joked about this, but you have interpreted it as just like them trying to start something physical with you. And of course, they would want that. But I feel like, every time they say something, they're worried about it being taken the wrong way. Because although they might want that, it's not just what they want. Like, they definitely want the deeper, more romantic, more open, vulnerable side with you. But it's like they have difficulty maybe expressing this. And they don't want you to just interpret them as being like an F boy or girl. But some of the things they say, it's like they kind of put their foot in their mouth. Because I think this person on the surface, they could come across as incredibly sociable, like they can mingle with anyone, they can talk to anyone, and it could come across as like they would find it easy to get into a romantic relationship because they know how to talk to people, they know how to charm people, they know how to have intelligent conversations. I'm definitely getting like air energy from this pile. Like this person just knows how to mingle. So you might interpret them as being like more extroverted than what they actually are. And this might make you think that they are in like a bit of F-boy or F-girl energy, when really sometimes they say things and they just don't mean it in the way that you interpret it. So I know this is like a particularly random example, and I know this isn't going to apply for many people, but it could be that, like, for example, they say something and it makes you believe that they are superficial or they are an F-boy or girl or something like that. Because they could, I don't know, let's say if you work with this person, they might comment on another colleague's attractiveness or something like that. Or it doesn't even have to be another colleague. Like you could just be having a general discussion at work and maybe like a celebrity comes up in conversation and this person makes a big deal of commenting on their attractiveness. And maybe this kind of gives you a bit of the ick and you're kind of like, why did you feel the need to say that? And maybe you're thinking like, well, yeah, this celebrity is attractive, but why are you going on about it? And you just feel as though it makes them come across as like, oh, all they're interested in is somebody's attractiveness from an external perspective. But in their mind, it's like they've said it not to get a reaction out of you, but they've said it maybe to make it clear what their type is. And I know that sounds really weird, but it could be that, you know, this person worries that you see them almost as asexual and they want to make it clear. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being asexual, but this person wants to make it clear that they are not and that they are attracted to you and that they would very much be interested in having a physical relationship with you. So it could even be like, you know, if this person, let's say, is a man and they come across as like a little bit camp, it could be that this person worries. If you are a female, let's say, it could be that this person is worried that you would think they are interested in men, so they want to make it clear that they are interested in women and that they are interested in you in particular. But equally, if this is like a same-sex flirtationship of some kind, it could be that this person, you know, they don't want you to think that they are straight. They want you to know that you are open to being in a same-sex relationship or something like that, whichever way it applies. But it's like this person wants to make a point that they are sexually active so that you know that they could give you pleasure, I think, because I feel like they want to match up to your standards and maybe they don't feel like they have a great deal to offer in terms of like financial success or something like that, but they want to make it clear that they're not as immature as what you think and that they could really make you happy. They could take you to paradise in that kind of sense. I don't know if that is going to make sense to very many people. I tried to give a few different examples, but it's just like everything this person says, they want to make you think that they're not immature, but it turns out to make them sound more immature because it's like, you know, adults don't feel the need to say this. It's like adults who have been in proper relationships don't feel the need to be so extra about who they are or aren't attracted to, and them saying this, it kind of just puts you off a little bit, but really they want it to have the opposite effect. It's like their way of almost letting you know they're interested, but they are not going about it the right way. It could even be that they have commented on a celebrity that they are attracted to because they think that you look like a particular celebrity, and that is their way of letting you know that that is the kind of person that they are attracted to. But maybe you don't even realize that you look like that celebrity, or you just don't really think about it. So maybe it doesn't even cross your mind that that is what they are trying to say. I'm either getting something like there is something about difference here. So it could be that like either this person is neurodivergent and you are neurotypical, so your brains have differences in terms of like the things you say and what they mean, or it could be the other way around, like you are neurodivergent, this person is neurotypical. So sometimes there are like little misunderstandings or miscommunications, and the way that they interpret something is not always interpreted by you in the same way, and it just leaves you kind of thinking like, why did they say that? Like, what did they mean by that? It doesn't have the effect that they want it to have. But I feel like this person's intentions are good. It's just that they don't know how to kind of go about this situation and broach it. They want to bring love into the situation, for sure, with this new moon in Aquarius. But maybe this person is just very different to the kind of person you have dealt with in the past. And that can kind of feel like a bit of a worry because you aren't sure of this person's true intentions. It's like there is this feeling between you. I think it is mutual, but I think you are a little bit unsure and a little bit cautious around this person due to their behavior and the way they articulate themselves. But I think there is definitely something sweet and endearing about this person. And I definitely don't think that they're just doing all this, being sweet to you, being nice to you, bringing you little gifts or doing things for you. Like, I'm getting something about acts of service. So particularly if you work with this person, it could be that they do little things for you or leave little treats on your desk, or like if they bring, I don't know, cookies into work or something like that, they always give you like the best flavor, or they give one extra to you or something like that. I don't think they're just doing that with the intention of like, I want to get pal 3 into bed. I mean, that is definitely something they think and fantasize about, but I don't think that is the only thing they think of when it comes to you. I think there is more to it, but it's like this person doesn't always bring that up in the right way. I'm definitely getting something about, this person wishing they could have you on your own. Maybe you are in a communal space with this person where there are always other people around, like if this is a work situation or a mutual friend situation. So maybe it feels like they can't be fully honest with you and say the things that they want to say because they never get you alone. So perhaps this is something that they fantasize about, like what the two of you would do or talk about if you were on your own together. Maybe they don't feel as though they ever get this opportunity, but I definitely feel as though there is going to be some kind of unexpected shift. This could be a message or something more definitive happening out of the blue, something that surprises you a little bit, a kind of jolt into action. This person could actually be taking more initiative than what they have in the recent past. It could be that they have tried to drop hints, but I think this person is actually a little bit more shy than what they let on. So this could be that there is a sudden outburst of feelings with this Aquarius coming through, like they suddenly send you a message, or just something happens where it changes the dynamic of this situation and something progresses, but maybe it has taken this person a bit more courage than what you would imagine in order to be able to articulate this. When I was looking up a little bit of information about the Finch, again, this could just be like further confirmation on who this person is. The Finch was described as brave and greedy. So it could be that this is how you or some people interpret this person. So, if you do see this person as a little bit of an F-boy or an F-girl, so it could be that you perceive them as braver than what they actually feel. Like maybe you perceive them as more confident than what they actually are. And it could be greedy in the sense that maybe, you feel as though they're somebody who has their eyes on everyone, like they have their fingers in all the pies or something like that. Interpret that however you want, but it's like you feel as though they are always like they've always got their eyes on a new person. They are looking at this attractive person and this attractive person, and it feels as though like sometimes they can want all these different things too much. But I'm getting some kind of message across like they are only fixated on you, and it's not because they see you as a conquest, it's because they genuinely feel like there could be something more there. They get this real sense of feeling close to you, and just wanting to explore more and actually be romantic. Like it is not just physical and it is not just a conquest to them. I think this person could be a lot more romantic than what you give them credit for. It could just be that they're not open about this romantic side. Maybe they have quite a jokey, light-hearted, bantery kind of nature, and that's how you see them. But I think there is a lot more to them than what meets the eye. Further confirmation of who this person might be. Again, when I was looking up information about the Finch online, it mentioned being musically talented. So it could be that this person works in a field that involves music, or as one of their hobbies, they play some kind of musical instrument, or maybe they are a very good singer. Apparently, the Finch has a very beautiful singing voice, so it could be that this person has a very beautiful voice, even just a speaking voice. Something about their voice really allures you, or it could be that they do really have a beautiful singing voice. There was also something about mimicry mentioned, so it could be like mimicry made me think of this person potentially. I know this is very specific, but this person could cover songs, like they could do covers of songs by certain bands or something and post these covers publicly. So that could be an indication of who this is. It could just be something creative along those lines. It doesn't have to be that specific thing, but that's what mimicry made me think of. The finch is also predominantly plant-based, I believe, like predominantly vegetarian. So it could be that you or this person are vegetarian. Maybe this person has recently transitioned to vegetarianism as part of a shift in lifestyle or something like that. Doesn't have to be the case. I know that's quite specific, but it's just a little bit of extra confirmation if that is the case. Again, doesn't have to be, so don't take it if it doesn't resonate. That is what I am getting for you with the oracle portion of your reading, pile 3. We are just going to roll the astro die as a little bit of further confirmation, so please bear with me and we'll do that now. Pile 3. Okay, pile 3, so we have the second house, we have Mars, and we have Leo. So second house, Mars and Leo. I know earlier in the reading I was saying that I was picking up on air energy, and that is still the case. I'm definitely getting air vibes from this, but also potentially fire. I could see how air and fire could be significant here. So obviously we have Leo, we have Mars, which is associated with Aries, and also potentially a little bit of Taurus with the second house showing up, but predominantly air and fire. It doesn't have to be the case, but it's just a little bit of extra confirmation. If this person has significant air or fire placements in their chart, then you know that is just confirmation for you. But definitely with this Leo showing up, I am getting a real kind of like bravado vibe from this person. I think they can come across as really charming, really confident. They know how to sort of seduce people, I think, with their words, and this could be the thing that makes you think that this person doesn't have the most pure of intentions because of this more kind of, I don't want to say superficial, but this more bravado mask that they have of confidence. I'm getting something about this person having a really charming smile or a really nice smile or just being quite flamboyant. And you know, when we were saying in the oracle portion of the reading about this person feeling as though maybe you don't know what their sexuality is or something like that, this could be due to this more flamboyant persona. If that is the case for them, they could have a flair for the dramatic in some way, but I believe more in like a way that tries to make people laugh. They try to lighten the mood, they try to brighten things up, particularly if you all like work together or something like that. This could be the person who tries to like make jokes, make people smile, and this could lead to you maybe not always taking them as seriously because they are always the one like cracking jokes and trying to lighten the mood. But I think this person definitely does have a more serious and more grounded and more stable side with the second house coming through and that Taurus energy. Definitely a more sensuous and romantic side than what you might expect. It could feel like it's all like fun and games with this person, the way that they express themselves. But I think when they are serious about something, they can be really committed to it. And particularly with this Mars showing up, I feel as though they are very driven towards establishing this connection with you. I feel as though they are kind of focused on you. And yes, you are in a way their goal, but it's not just so they can conquer you in like a physical way. It's so they can kind of break down your barriers and show that they have this different side to themselves and that they are different than what you might expect. And also they can show you something different to what other people have shown you in the past. So if this is somebody who has known you when you have like been in other relationships, and if other people haven't treated you well or something like that, it could be that this person kind of wants to step up and be like, oh well, I can treat pal 3 better, they just need to give me a chance. It's like they are really desperate to have this chance with you. And I feel like the ways they could try to get you to notice them is again by being generous with their gifts or something like that, giving you gifts, just maybe cracking jokes with you with that Leo energy coming through, maybe just trying to start conversations with you to find out more about you, to find out what you're interested in, or just do little acts of service. It could also be that they are interested in physical touch. And I know we keep mentioning that, but I don't mean it in like a sexual way. It could just be with the Taurus coming through that this person, you notice that when you're together, they might make more effort to touch you than what they do with other people. It's like any excuse to have some kind of physical contact with you, not in a creepy way, but just more like your hands brushing up against each other, or, you know, if you are walking in front of them, they touch the bottom of your back to try and like guide you. It's just like any excuse to be close to you or something like that. That could be a way that you kind of notice them trying to get your attention. That is what I am getting for the oracle portion of your reading, pal 3. I really hope you are enjoying the reading so far. If you are enjoying the reading, please stay tuned. We are about to get started with the tarot, so I will see you in your tarot reading, pal 3. Hi Pal 3 Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay Pal 3, so we have got the 5 of Cups, we've got the 8 of Wands in reverse, we have got the 8 of Cups, we have got the Tower in reverse, we have got the 3 of Swords, we have got the High Priestess, we have got Judgment, and we have got the Hanged One. So it's interesting, Pal 3, because obviously in the Oracle reading, a lot of the energy that was coming through, it felt all very like lovey-dovey, romance and new feelings. And a lot of this energy is kind of talking about past hurt, but I feel like this isn't a past person in terms of you and them, but it could be that this person is still carrying a lot of trauma, and potentially you as well. Like both of you could be mirroring each other to some degree, depending on what both of you have been through as individuals with other people and with other relationships. But it's like both of you could have been through hurt and you're almost projecting this onto each other. If this is not you, it could be that this person is struggling to really be vulnerable with another person because of a hurt that they have been through. Obviously, you know, I am picking up on this person's energy, why they are trying to get your attention and who this person is. So we will predominantly be talking about them. But if you notice that, you know, a lot of what I'm saying maybe resonates with you as well and situations that you have gone through, then take that as confirmation that you and this person could very well be mirroring each other to some capacity. So that's just a little side note that I wanted to mention before we really get started, because some of this is quite heavy energy, particularly in comparison to what we were getting through in the Oracle reading. So I did just want to mention that. With this 8 of Wands in reverse in particular, I definitely get the sense that this person continually psychs themselves up to say something to you, to actually say something that isn't just a vague attempt at getting your attention, but is actually an expression of interest, an expression of feelings. They are constantly like building themselves up to send that message. Maybe they type things out and they nearly hit send and then they don't, they delete it and then they just don't say anything, because there is this underlying feeling of unworthiness with them, like they won't live up to your expectations. And perhaps this is why they, you know, go about trying to impress you, but in all the wrong ways. And the ways they try and impress you, it could be that these ways, the things they say, these are the things that kind of give you the ick, or you think to yourself, like, why are they saying that? Like, it just doesn't impress me. Why are they going on about XYZ? Like, that doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me more attracted to them. Why do they think that will work? And it kind of makes you see them as this F boy or F girl. But it's like, they do it because they really crave your validation, because they sense something with you. There's this sense of like mutual understanding. I think they see you as a very intuitive or knowing person, and I think potentially they are as well. But I think due to this past hurt and due to this fear of rejection and to stepping into new territory, it's like they aren't fully able to tap into their intuition and they aren't able to trust themselves. So it's like they're a little bit unwilling to take that leap to really solidify that there are feelings for you, because they are so scared of this perceived rejection. They are scared that what they are feeling, the vibes they are interpreting, are all in their head or something like that. I think they know that they are incredibly attracted to you. They know there is something there. They can feel a vibe. It's like I think they see you as this kindred spirit. They see you and them as being the same in some way. And it's actually quite strange because I feel like you and this person could be quite opposite at a surface level. It isn't necessarily that you have to have all of the same interests or anything like that. But I think in terms of the things you have both been through, it's like there's this level of mutual understanding, but sometimes they ignore their intuition. They ignore that there is this feeling there, this underlying vibe, even though you both might feel it, because I just don't think that they trust their own judgment. They've been in a position in the not so distant past where they have been really hurt, they have been heartbroken by something, and it could be that they are the kind of person, because there is this element of them playing a role and putting on this mask of bravado in certain situations. It's like they have tried to underplay what has happened to them. Maybe they don't talk about it very much. Maybe they struggle to really talk about their feelings or how things have hurt them in the past. Maybe they have broken up with somebody or somebody has betrayed their trust. and they have acted as though this thing hasn't bothered them, like it hasn't got to them, they have just got over it. But really, they, I think, are to some capacity ignoring their feelings. I don't think they have processed the trauma that might have been associated with this event. They are just instead ignoring it, but it is actually stopping them from really, being vulnerable with somebody else and potentially committing to someone else. And even though they feel this very strong thing with you, it's like that is the very thing that scares them from taking things further, because they haven't felt this way about maybe anyone, or particularly like since their past relationship, they haven't felt this strongly about somebody. So it's like they're scared of even stepping foot into those waters, even playing around in the shallow end in terms of like taking you out on a date or something like that, because they are so worried that it could lead to those deeper feelings and then them potentially being hurt again, because I think they really have been hurt. And like we say, I think they are very unwilling to admit this, but I do definitely get this overarching sense that they really feel a romantic vibe with you. But I think they constantly doubt themselves and they're like, oh, well, does pal 3 feel this as well? Or am I just being creepy? Like, maybe I just feel these things. I think they think, like, am I projecting onto pal 3? Like, does pal 3 really feel this way? It's like they can sense it in the air, but they are so reluctant to do anything about it because I think they're scared of coming across as creepy. So yeah, it's a really difficult one. They do have a lot of self-doubts. This is the kind of person who would make a joke about their trauma. So I don't know, let's say they were in a previous relationship and something really awful happened, like their partner cheated on them, and maybe, I don't know, let's just say this is a situation. It doesn't have to be. It's probably not going to be this specific for many people, but let's say this person was with someone and then the person that they were with cheated on them with their best friend or something like that. So then in the end, it's obviously this huge betrayal, but they lost their partner and they lost their friend, for example. But it's like they almost use their trauma as a punchline. So instead of acknowledging that that was, an incredibly painful situation, which everybody I'm sure can understand that it would be, it's like this person makes a joke about that event and they almost use it as like a way of brightening other people up, of making their friends laugh by bringing up that situation. Like they use their trauma as a punchline to jokes. But really, there is something a lot deeper going on under the surface, a lot of unhealed wounds, a lot of unprocessed trauma. And I feel like as well, this is a person, because they don't ever want to feel that sense of rejection, that sense of abandonment again, because they don't ever want to go through that trauma, that loss. They are definitely in their tower reversed energy, because it's like they're delaying the inevitable. They're, clinging onto comfort and they're averting disaster. And that could mean just averting like having deeper feelings for anyone, taking things to the next level. It could be that they choose not to do anything in terms of you, because just having you in their life in any capacity, like just being able to interact with you, even just to talk to you platonically or to flirt with you, that is enough. Like they would rather have that than, do anything that would cause you to separate yourself from them. They really want to avoid that because they know how much they have been hurt in the past by other people, by other relationships. And they definitely feel as though if they were to lose you, that would be even worse than what they have experienced in the past, because they already feel like such a strong pull towards you that it's quite overwhelming. And they think that if they were to establish something deeper than a friendship with you, if it all went awry, they just wouldn't really know what to do with themselves. They wouldn't know what to do if they lost you. So it's like they just kind of avoid these deeper feelings instead, and they will take you in whatever capacity they can have you. If that means just being friends and, kind of having these secret desires and these secret longings, then so be it. But they do not want to risk losing you. And they do not want to risk feeling the rejection that they felt in the past either. There's definitely something in their past that they have had to walk away from. This could be another person or just like a toxic pattern of behavior. But I definitely feel as though they've maybe had like a spiritual or emotional awakening of some kind in recent months. This could be somebody who has like gone traveling recently or something like that, or they have gone out on a journey to find themselves. It's like they have had to abandon an old version of themselves. If it's not traveling, it could be something like they have gone on to further education to try and better themselves. They've gone on a health and fitness journey. They've gone on a spiritual journey. They have just tried to do something to change in terms of their personal development, because they have been forced into that situation due to whatever has happened in the past. It's not that they think that you would let them down, But due to the sense of them feeling let down that they felt in the past with this Five of Cups, it's like they just feel as though they can't risk it. But at the same time, it's taking up a lot of space in their mind. And I feel like they are shifting in terms of their perspective. I think they are getting to the stage where it's like now or never. Like, if I don't say something now, then I could risk losing pile 3 entirely. And I think they would really struggle, you know, if you started dating someone and they hadn't said anything, like they hadn't expressed this. So ultimately, I feel like that could force them into saying something and to actually taking significant action. I feel like eventually they will be forced into just saying something, into just getting on with it, because so many times they have written messages out and so many times they've deleted the messages. So that is definitely something that I'm getting. But I feel like there's been this element for a significant period of time where they have wanted to say this for a while, but it's like with this Eight of Wands, it's making me feel as though they keep saying to themselves when the time is right. And there's some element of like they don't feel ready for you. So, you know, if this is somebody a little bit younger, or it's somebody who feels like they don't match up to your level of maturity, it could be that they are doubting whether they are good enough for you. It could be that they kind of put you up on a pedestal, and all of this like weird behavior where it comes across as they're trying to brag or impress you or put on this false bravado, it's all for your benefit in terms of like they just want you to see them in a good light. They just want you to see them as somebody who is worthwhile of being in a partnership with, or being with romantically or something like that. So they do all this for you, but I think it is having the wrong effect, like, because really all you want is somebody authentic and somebody who's willing to be vulnerable. But it's like I think they feel as though you will reject them if they are fully vulnerable, or if they say things about what they have been through in the past, if they are more open about that. It's like, I don't know, it could be there could be some element of like, oh, I don't want to tell pal 3 about, you know, my past trauma, because then they'll just feel sorry for me. Like, I don't want their pity. I want them to see me as attractive and brave and strong. And it's like all of this stuff they've been through, you wouldn't see them as weak for having gone through that. Like, you would only, I think, feel more connected with them because you might have been through similar things yourself, and you might get, you know, this overarching sense that you and them have been through similar things. But I think they have this weird notion that it will somehow make them look weak if they tell you about these things. But meanwhile, it's like they're not fully dealing with these beliefs they have about themselves, because they see themselves as partially unworthy, like not being good enough for you. And they just keep saying to themselves, like, yeah, when the time is right, but you know, it's not quite right yet, it's not quite ready, I need to do this, or I need to do this, I need to be in this place before I really initiate things with pal 3. But you know, like, meanwhile, time is passing them by, and if they want you, they really need to get on it with asserting themselves, because there's only so much time where you're going to remain single if you are single, and they don't want to let the time slip them by. They really don't want to pass up this opportunity with you. So I think ultimately they will be saying something will be expressed in the not so distant future. That is something that I am seeing on the cards. It's like there is this feeling with you that you are different to feelings they have experienced with previous dates or friends or romantic interests, and that feels quite scary to them. It kind of puts them in a little bit more of an avoidant energy, because they feel as though there's something deeper, and they are partially scared to explore that thing that feels deeper. It might feel quite unfamiliar to them. I don't know why, but I'm getting something about Scorpio moon, because obviously the moon struggles when it's in Scorpio. However, like, Scorpios are known to be very, you know, intuitive. It's like this person has all the intuition, but they are kind of ignoring it, and they are really struggling to be vulnerable at the moment. But it seems like there will be this unexpected shift. Something will be changing. They will maybe be coming out of that energy, and hopefully they will be expressing some of what they are feeling towards you. So we are just going to finish up with a little bit of advice from the Soul Truth Oracle. So please bear with me and we'll have a look at the card we pulled for you, pal 3. Okay, pal 3, so we got the card, Am I in my head or in my heart? And on the back it says, what is the quality of your self-talk? Our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and limitations will take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. Today's soul action. Today, master your mind. Watch an inspiring video, do some tapping, read an empowering book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and your dreams. So I definitely feel as though this card in particular, it's a message to them, but it's also very much a message to you, because I feel like both of you, there is this element of you being in your heads and potentially having some self-doubt and some negative self-talk. If that is something you have struggled with in the past, it could also be that this person struggles with that a lot more than what you would expect. Even if they put on this like false sense of security, this bravado, this like confident, strong Leo attitude or something like that, it's like there is this element of uncertainty with them. So both of you could be feeling this connection, like, you know, there is this intuitive pull, your souls feel it, you are kind of drawn to each other like magnets, but nobody is saying anything, like this hasn't been fully expressed. And both of you are, you know, going home at the end of the day after having seen each other. If you are like out with mutual friends, or if this is someone at work or something like that, you're going home, you're going your separate ways, and both of you are kind of talking yourselves out of it. So maybe this person is saying like, oh, I definitely felt something with pal 3, and the way they looked at me, I thought there was something, but I just don't know. But no, they can't like me like that, because this person feels not good enough, they feel unworthy. And equally, you could be thinking like, oh, well, I get this kind of sense that this person likes me, but then they started talking about this celebrity that they had a crush on, and why would they talk about this other person in front of me or something like that? It's just something where you're both like getting in your head too much, and you're therefore doubting each other's intentions. But really, your heart can feel when it's real. Your heart knows when there is something there. You only have to rely on your intuition. Obviously, our brains are beautiful and brilliant things in terms of being able to make informed decisions and use logic, but ultimately, I think this is reminding you that logic can only tell us so much. And if you feel as though something is there and you could, you know, establish a real connection with this person, then don't dismiss this person immediately on the basis of things that you perceive that might not be the full reality of the situation, because a lot of the way this person acts, things that you interpret as like being F-boy or F-girl, it could just be that this person is incredibly nervous, or this person wants to impress you, and maybe they don't always go about it in the right ways, but ultimately they are just trying to get you to notice them and to give them a chance. And I think if you gave them a chance, you would see that this person has a complete other side to them. And when they are able to be vulnerable and to open up more, and you get to see this side, I think you will realize there is a lot more to them than what meets the eye. So that is the message that I'm getting for you, pal 3. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy the reading, please like the video, please comment, and if that's all possible, please subscribe. Thank you for being here, pal 3, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Powerful Collective. If you chose the Good Karma Tarot and you chose the brown cow with the leaf sticker, this will be your reading. This reading is titled Who Wants to Get Your Attention? Who is desperate for you to notice them, and why? If you would like more details regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out my introduction, or you can check out the pinned comment below or my description box below. There will be further information there. However, as usual, this reading will be split up into 2 sections. We will start off by firstly looking at a selection of oracle cards from different decks. The oracle cards are actually pre-selected. They are at the bottom of the tarot deck. So we will just pop the tarot deck over there to one side for a sec. And we are about to get started on the oracle reading. We are going to roll the astro dice towards the end of the oracle reading as a little bit of further confirmation for you on who this could be. You can use the oracle reading as a kind of energy check to confirm you have chosen the right pile. Then in the second portion of the reading, we will be moving on to the tarot. So that's when we will be looking at the Good Karma Tarot. We are about to get started. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for being here. I notice every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber, and I am just so grateful for any support you are able to give me. I don't take any of it for granted. As a tiny little channel, I am continually trying to grow, and yeah, just trying to build up my audience and trying to create content that you enjoy. So with that said, if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see going forward, or if anything does resonate, it really does mean the world to me if you let me know. Any, you know, words of encouragement, positive reinforcement really helps me. So yeah, again, I just really appreciate you being here, and thank you to anyone who has managed to do any of the aforementioned. I just can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to be here and to help me in that way. So with all of that said, without any more hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay, pal 4. So we have the Snail and Huckleberry, Trust in the Invisible. We have clock, need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, progress. And we have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So I'm definitely getting that there could be some frustration on your end, pal 4, because maybe this is somebody who you sense could have feelings towards you, but this hasn't been expressed explicitly. With this trust in the invisible, it's like a lot of this connection is reliant on this underlying vibe, this feeling. And I think both you and this person feel this feeling. You have this sense that something is going on, but I don't think that has been vocalized. It feels as though a lot of this connection is relying on intuition, and that in particular can feel quite frustrating because I really get the sense that it feels to you as though, you get so far with this person and then progress feels like it's been halted. Maybe like you and this person have been talking and you have been talking a little bit less recently, or it feels like there's been a pause in this connection. Something has had to be on hold, or it could just be that you have been talking to this person but it hasn't got past a platonic stage and you are unsure about how they feel about you because this hasn't been expressed at all. Like it could have been, you haven't even got to the dating stage and you are just concerned about how long this is taking because it feels as though, it's like a few steps forward and a few steps back, or something like that. This is a very slow moving energy, and I wouldn't be surprised if this person wasn't an earth sign or they had significant earth placements in their chart because this person comes across as incredibly cautious. I think this is quite a guarded person. I think they are guarded in terms of their feelings, their vulnerability. This could be a person who is still undergoing some healing from a previous situation. I feel like I've said that for every reading, but honestly, like who isn't still healing from something else? We all go through situations, and sometimes it does take longer to heal from certain situations than others. And, we're all on our own journey. I don't think this person has ill intentions, but it's just I think they're quite frightened of being vulnerable in any way. I definitely think this person could be earth sign dominant. Doesn't have to be the case. It could be that like this person is more earthy and you are a little bit more fiery. So maybe that's why you're feeling more frustration that things aren't moving along as quickly as what you'd expect. Maybe you are used to people, coming in and taking initiative and kind of sweeping you off your feet and it being a kind of whirlwind romance. And maybe this hasn't quite been like that, even though there is definitely an attraction there. It's like this person isn't as forthcoming as maybe other people you've been with. Maybe they aren't as willing to take action, and that to you feels as though they could be potentially uninterested in you. But ultimately, you do have this underlying feeling that there is more to be explored and that they do have an interest and an attraction to you. And you do feel as though you can rely on your intuition to tell you that. And again, you are trusting in this invisible force because you definitely feel something there when you're with them, but you just have to rely on trusting that knowledge that there is something there and you aren't completely wrong about how this person feels about you. Like you aren't misinterpreting it. It's just that this person is very different to the people who you've dealt with in the past. They might not be your usual type, but this could be a good thing. It could be that the fact that this person is cautious, that they are more reserved, that they don't, come in and sweep you off your feet. It could be that, this person is more solid and more steadfast. And when they really want to commit to something, it's not just like they come in and things are fiery and it like crashes and burns. It's like they really solidly build towards something, and they might be really solidly wanting to build with you, but it's like they want to be really sure that they can trust you because maybe they do struggle to trust other people. It feels as though this is a very sort of independent person. When I was researching online about Huckleberry, I kept getting something coming up about Huckleberry being solitary or only growing in small clusters. So this makes me think that this person could, really keep to themselves, be quite shy, be more reserved than what you're used to. Maybe they have only a small group of friends, or maybe it's quite difficult to sort of infiltrate this person's inner circle because You know, maybe they only trust a small number of people and they just don't let people in that easily. So it can be kind of hard to find out more information about them because I just don't think that they give that information out too easily. There is this kind of element of mystery with this person, an element of like people not being able to get too close. And it's like they want to be able to let you in, but I think due to this past hurt that they have experienced, they just struggle fully, you know, being able to trust their own intuition and being able to trust that your feelings are there or something like that. They just really don't want to get hurt. And along that similar message with the snail, it definitely feels as though this person has like a protective outer shell. They might have a defense mechanism of some kind. It could be that it's difficult to have like a deeper conversation with this person right off the bat because there is this element of them wanting to protect themselves. I think this is a person who would very much worry about like being too much. They would never want to be too full on in terms of flirting with you. They would never want to make you feel uncomfortable or anything like that. But I'm definitely getting this sense that this person is set on you because I think once this person is fixated on something, they are committed to it. It could just be because, you know, this doesn't feel as fiery. It doesn't feel like the chemistry is all obvious or as obvious as it has been with other people in your past. You are really doubting like whether this person's attracted to you, whether they want more, especially if conversation has slowed down or it's difficult to get much out of them. Perhaps this is a person who like you struggle to make conversation with over text, like you struggle to keep the conversation going because maybe they don't give you much, but it could just be that they are different in the sense that they are not a big texter, but maybe like if you went out on a date with them, they would literally dedicate all their time to you. They would never be, you know, looking at their phone. They would be looking at you intently and focusing on only you. It's like once they are committed and dedicated to something, they go after that. And in this case, it feels like that is you. But I think there is just some difficulty here getting the ball rolling. Like it's difficult for things to get off the ground. It feels like things have gone a bit stagnant in this situation. In fact, like I would be surprised if this person is doing anything outwardly where it feels like they're desperately trying to get your attention. I think the desperation is internal, but I think due to this person being guarded and due to them being in this mindset of self-preservation, it's like they don't want to do anything that could be interpreted as desperate, and they might therefore try to act nonchalant and you might interpret them this way, but really there is a lot of feelings going on under the surface. I think they might have a fixation with you, but it's like they don't want to do anything that would make you feel as though they were being too much, because they just don't want you to reject them. They don't want to do anything that leaves you like, oh, like, why have you done that? They don't want you to see them as cheesy or anything like that if they were to express a more romantic side. So yeah, I mean, I think there could be an element with this person, and this isn't going to apply in every situation, but it could be that, you know, this is the first time that they are really having to like chase someone because maybe you refuse to be the chaser. Like if somebody wants to spend time with you, then maybe you are open to that, but equally you're not going to run after someone if they are giving you sort of little in return. So it could be that they are really having to try a lot harder in terms of conversation and in terms of planning dates than what they have done in the past, and that feels quite alien to them, and it could feel quite scary to them because maybe they're like, well, I've never done this for anyone else before, and this pal 4 has got me acting in a way that I usually don't. So that could come across as like quite terrifying in their mind, but really you might be thinking like, well, it's only planning a date, like what's the big deal, we've all done it, get over yourself. And to an extent that is true, but it's like this person has never really done anything like this before. I think this could be like, I think they have had relationships before because it seems like they have faced significant hurt, like they might have been betrayed in the past and they might still be struggling with that, but I don't think they've had to really do the chasing. So maybe they haven't had like an emotionally mature relationship before or something like that, and now they do have to chase, they have to put in effort, they have to put in work, and I feel like they are willing to do that, but it's like maybe some of this is going on behind the scenes, because they just don't want to look desperate. They don't want to like put their feelings out there to be rejected, to be shot down, because that would just be the worst feeling in the world to them if they were rejected by you. So yeah, the overarching energy is that the feeling is very much there, but there is little action taking place on either side, and this could be leading to some frustration, some uncertainty, and some confusion. because both of you are just trusting a feeling rather than something that is actually being said. This doesn't have to be the case, but I am getting something about this person potentially being like an outdoorsy person. They could be big on nature, they could enjoy going on walks. They could have been mountain climbing recently, or they just have a lot of pictures out in like forests or mountains, or even some kind of outdoor activity that isn't as commonplace like snowboarding or skiing. They could have done that in the past, or they could have done that recently. They just enjoy, going out and exploring the world. They could have, been traveling recently or gone to different countries to do some of these activities. And those are the kind of pictures that they might have on their social media or something like that. But it could be that they don't post very much. So it could be that you find it difficult to garner what they are thinking and feeling, because maybe some of the pictures they have are like years old. They don't really update their social media or something like that. And the only pictures you have of them are them in like snowboarding gear or something like that. Doesn't have to be the case, but just when I was talking about like walking, I got an image of those like ugly mountain climbing shoes. I'm not saying that this person wears ugly shoes. They might have really nice walking boots, but I know I've had a pair of like the ugly ones for when I go on dog walks and stuff like that. So that's the image that popped into my head. It could be that they have like those mountain boots, or I don't even know what you call them. But yeah, this person could just be interested in nature. That could be like a little bit of further confirmation of who this person is. Doesn't have to be the case. It's just a little bit of extra info if that does apply. There is something about mountains or about a snowy place coming through. With this conclusions are within reach full moon eclipse card, I definitely feel as though some action is going to be taken in terms of this situation. I am leaning towards this person being more willing to push past their fears and take more decisive action when it comes to you. I'm just feeling as though this could be something that comes out of the blue, like an expression of interest or an expression of attraction of some kind. Something within this dynamic is changing and transforming. Some new information is being brought to light. I'm not sure what this will be just yet. Maybe we will look into that more in the tarot reading. But it's like something is changing within this situation, and one way or another, you are going to get more clarity. So that is what I am getting with the oracle portion of your reading. We are just going to roll the astro dice for a little bit of further confirmation, and then we are going to move along to the tarot portion of the reading. So please bear with me and we will roll the astro dice. Pile 4. Okay, pile 4. So we have the sun, we have Cancer here, and we have the 7th house. So we've got the sun, Cancer, and the 7th house. So I definitely feel as though with this 7th house coming through, so firstly, I mentioned the signs. Obviously, I've already mentioned earth signs. However, it could be that Cancer, Leo, or Libra are significant to you or this person in terms of astrological placements. It doesn't have to be the case, it's just that little bit of extra confirmation if it is. But definitely with this 7th house, I think this person sees potential in this situation, and maybe a lot more potential than what they let on. Again, there is a lot of fear holding them back. But it's like this person sees you as a potential partnership. I think they definitely don't see you as somebody for like the short term. I think they see you as a long-term partner potential. They see you as like husband or wife material. They see you as for the long haul. And I think that is why, they are so reluctant to take action, because in many ways, feeling so strongly about somebody who they might not know incredibly well is quite scary for them. And I think the potential of what this could be does worry them to some extent, because they feel as though this could really be something more. Like, it's not something that's just a surface level connection. This could develop into a full-blown relationship, and that can be quite scary for them. That might not be a feeling that they're used to. This could be somebody who you are just friends with at the moment, but they hope that it will become more. But yeah, like, it's just giving me that message of maybe things not being established. These feelings haven't really been acknowledged in the physical world or talked about yet, even though both of you might feel as though this could become something more. With Cancer as well, I'm getting the sense that this could be a very caring and nurturing person. This could be the kind of person who would like to cook for you. They might like to really look after you, to take care of you. This could be the kind of person who surprisingly, like as much as they could be quite outdoorsy or they might like to get out in nature, equally they could spend a lot of time, being a homebody. And this could come into play, when we said that this person could be quite solitary or they have like a tight-knit circle of friends, it could be that they much prefer to, like when they're not out and about in nature, they don't really like to go out partying or go out drinking or something like that. They like to sit at home, be a homebody, cook for their significant other. They like to, sit on the couch and watch Netflix with you and, be intimate and things like that, have romantic evenings in. They aren't always out and about. And that can make it quite difficult for you to, see them and spend a lot of time with them significantly because, if they aren't out in the same places as you, it can be quite difficult to like set up a time where you and them could talk together without it feeling as though there is a lot of pressure, like feeling too much like a date or something. So maybe that has been why it's difficult to, go from a friendship to a relationship because they're at home quite a lot or something like that. They have this homebody energy. This could be somebody who definitely wants to involve you in the things that they enjoy doing. They want you to, come on adventures with them, join them on walks. This could be something that they ask you to do if they do like getting out in nature or something like that. Or even if that isn't the case, even if, they want you to Netflix and chill or something like that, it's like this person. I know that could be interpreted one way. And yes, although this person is attracted to you and they might want that, it's also like this person does really want you to come over and you watch a show together and then you discuss the show. And they might want physical touch with you whilst doing that, but it's like what they say, like they mean what they say. They are being genuine that they want to, get you involved in the things that they enjoy. So this could be the kind of person who really wants you to watch their favorite show. They want you to really engage with their hobbies. They just want you to get involved with their interests. They want to find out what your interests are as well so they can, invite you to do certain things related to that, or you can talk about those things together. They want to try new things with you, things that would bring you both enjoyment. That is what I am getting for the oracle portion of your reading, Powerful. I really hope you are enjoying the reading so far. We are about to move on to the tarot portion, so please bear with me and we'll get started with that. Hi Powerful Collective, welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's just get into it and have a look at the cards we pulled for you. Okay Powerful, so we have got the Ace of Wands, we have got the Devil, we have got the Four of Wands, we have got the Eight of Wands, we have got the Ten of Cups, we've got the Page of Cups in reverse, we've got the Eight of Swords, and we've got the Four of Cups in reverse. So firstly, Powerful, this person, because with all the Wands energy coming through, and actually the Cups energy, we have a fair bit of both. I know I mentioned Earth in the Oracle reading, and I definitely feel as though Earth placements could be significant, but it could be that this person actually has a lot of internal passion and maybe some hidden placements that are in fire signs, so something like that. So it could be that the most dominant placements are like Earth placements, but maybe they have like a fire Venus or a fire Mars or something like that. They have this sort of fiery, passionate side that is sometimes hidden, because they are a little bit worried about what would happen if they were to release and reveal more of that side. Like, I think they're just worried that you wouldn't want that. And it's so funny, like with this Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands actually came through, like when I pulled that card out, it was flipped. So it was like, it came out like horizontal. So I wasn't sure which way to take it initially. And I feel like honestly it's both, because this person is incredibly attracted to you. They do want to make moves towards you. They do want to take action towards you, take initiative. They do want to step up and be in this fiery, like more chaser kind of energy. But it's like a part of them pulls back, a part of them is hesitant, a part of them is worried about whether you would actually want that or not. And this concerns them because they just don't want the rejection. They don't want to face any potential rejection. And ultimately we all take chances in life, we all put ourselves out there, and we all face rejection, whether it comes down to like friendships or romantic relationships or job opportunities, putting yourself out on YouTube or like doing something like that, like I'm doing. We can all face potential rejection and criticism and people who aren't happy with us, but it's like this person, act so incredibly nonchalantly, sometimes to the point where like you might even doubt whether they are truly even trying to get your attention, whether they even care about you. Maybe it feels like they pull back a lot, but really I think it's because they see you as incredibly intuitive and they are worried that like what they are doing is too obvious. I know I keep getting that phrase, but it's like they don't want to be too obvious. So it feels as though to this person, even doing something like liking your picture, if they don't normally do it, they feel as though that's like a big leap. Like they feel as though they're really flirting with you, or you'll be able to tell how attracted to you they are if they do that. Like they're worried that you'll think they are obsessed with you, because truthfully behind the scenes they kind of are a little bit fixated, fascinated and obsessed by you. But I think they really try to not be creepy with it, but it's like they could spend a lot of time on your social media looking at your pictures, and meanwhile, you know, they haven't responded to your text for a few hours, or when they did respond to your text, maybe it came across as quite dry, or there was like no romance to it, maybe it was more bantery or something like that, and you were like, oh well, maybe this person doesn't like me, you know, they don't seem to be taking much initiative to take this to the next level. But meanwhile they're like secretly stalking you and fixated on you and quite obsessed with you and a little bit possessive over you with this devil coming through. I think they see you as like a temptation, and I think it often like gives them, I'm getting something about them getting a dopamine rush by looking at your social media and seeing what you're up to, and you know, sometimes feeling relieved if you are not going on a date with somebody else. It's like they are relieved when they see that you are just at home enjoying yourself and not out with other people or something like that, because they could be worried about competition. It's like they feel insecure about the competition, but meanwhile they're not like claiming you, even though they want to. They want to like claim you, but they're worried that this will come across as too full on, and they're not quite sure. They have a lot of hesitancy, they have a lot of uncertainty, and they're not quite sure how you will interpret it. So instead they just come across as a little bit detached, and they play this detached game, but I really don't think they are. I think they really have a lot of stronger feelings for you that are going on under the surface. I don't know if they've ever really encountered this kind of feeling before. I think with you they definitely get this sense of like you feeling like home with this Four of Wands. There's something familiar about you. I don't know whether maybe you and them like shared a similar upbringing, but it's just this sense of like safety that they feel with you. And I think this is potentially based on more the vibe, like the more they've been getting to know you, the safer they have felt. And you do feel like somebody who, you know, they could be really vulnerable with and could open up to, and there is a potential for more with this. But I think that scares them a little bit as well, because, you know, maybe they've been hurt in the past and they are just concerned that if they get too involved, if they get too attached to you, if they become too committed to you, then it could all come crumbling down. Like if they lost you, they wouldn't really know what to do with themselves. So it's like, I don't know, I think they hold back a lot, and a lot of it, they don't want to come across as like too much. They don't want to creep you out or anything like that, but I think they are in their head a lot over you. I definitely think that they see you as long term. I know I said that in the oracle, but with this 10 of Cups coming through, I think they really do envision you as somebody who they could build a life with, like literally somebody who they could have a family with. I think in the oracle reading, I mentioned something about like husband or wife material. I think that was in this reading. I do forget very quickly after I like channel the messages, and they do just go out of my head. But I think it was this one. It's like they see you as somebody solid to build something with. And I think the thing is, this person doesn't take that lightly. They move incredibly cautiously because they are so scared of spoiling things. They are so scared of making a mistake and things just all crumbling and you getting scared off and pulling away. They feel like they have to move so slowly and cautiously and build this thing up over time. I feel like to some extent you are interpreting this as a lack of interest, or like they're not attracted to you, and that is just not the case. They feel very passionate towards you with this Ace of Wands. They are very, very attracted to you physically. If you are doubting that, please don't doubt that, because they definitely are. But it's like I feel like there's something about you that makes them feel a little bit powerless, or a little bit like, I think this is somebody who really likes to feel as though they are in control of a situation, not in the sense that they want to control you, or you know, they want to stop you from doing what you want to do or anything like that. I think it's more in terms of their own emotions. They want to feel like they're in control, and I feel like they have a hard time admitting to themselves when they're not. And sometimes, you know, they just use doing things slowly as almost like a coping mechanism. Like they say to themselves, you know, well, if I don't rush things, if I just you know, try not to talk to this person as much as what I would really like to talk to them, then maybe my feelings won't develop as quickly, or maybe my feelings won't be as overwhelming. It's like they kind of set boundaries with themselves in order to control the situation, hoping that it will control their emotions. But with all these cups coming through, I think their emotions are already very strong and very overwhelming. Compared to maybe the amount of time that they've known you, it feels as though these emotions have come on quite suddenly with the Eight of Wands, and that can be quite scary for them. So instead of, you know, really I'm getting like surrendering, instead of surrendering to those feelings and just letting things go wherever it takes them, it's like they're trying to control how strongly they feel by being like, right, well, I won't read Pal 4's text message right away. I will leave it 2 hours before I read their text messages, and then I will reply after 2 hours. And it's not to play games with you. I really don't think they're trying to play games with you. I just think that they feel a lot more strongly towards you than you do about them. So it's like they're trying to pull back and, you know, set these boundaries with themselves and control the situation as a means of self-preservation. But I don't think it's working that well, because ultimately they are repressing quite a lot of their emotions, and it just feels like there is a lot bubbling up under the surface. And I'm really getting this phrase that eventually, like sooner or later, it's all going to come undone. So I think, you know, these feelings at some stage or another are going to all fall out of them, essentially. Now, this could be something that you perceive as more insignificant than what they do, but ultimately I think it is something that is going to clear a few things up for you. So if, for example, like you were doubting whether the spark was really there because you didn't know whether this person was actually attracted to you or something like that, it could be that, you know, usually this person might have more of what feels like a platonic, sometimes bordering on a flirty or bantery relationship with you. Like they could make jokes a lot, you could laugh a lot with this person, you could have a really good time, but it's like sometimes they say something that could be interpreted as a little bit flirty, but then it's like they pull back, like suddenly they go from flirty to like back to business, and it's as if they never said that, and it doesn't really go any further. And it just makes you like, oh, like they said this and then they pulled it back. So what does that mean? Like, did they really mean that? Or were they just kind of joking with me and now they don't want to lead me on? So that's why they've pulled back. But it's more like they've pulled back because they don't want to be too much. Like they don't want to be too full on with the flirting and make you feel uncomfortable. But it could be with this Eight of Wands that there is incoming communication, like a text that suddenly comes through out of the blue. Maybe when this person has a few drinks or something like that and they're a little bit more confident, it could be that they send you something and it leaves no doubt in your mind that they are definitely attracted to you. Like they say something and it's kind of like you've crossed that barrier. Like you're like, right, they've expressed it, like they are attracted to me. Like, oh, okay, I get it. They do actually like me. It's like they say something that confirms something for you, and this comes in just quickly, like just out of the blue. But yeah, they are definitely feeling a big spark with you. I just don't think they always know the right ways to show it. I think they are just thinking like slow and steady is the way to go. But I feel as though you could be potentially being a bit impatient, because maybe this isn't what you've experienced in the past. Maybe in the past it's been like full steam ahead, and for this person that has been a bit more difficult. That's not their natural way of doing things, but they really, I think, are trying to push past their fears. With this Four of Cups in reverse, it's like they are trying to choose themselves and choose their own happiness, and they are trying to push past this anxiety in order to access something better with you. And I don't think they would do that for many people. Like I say, I don't think this person is used to chasing, and now it's like they're forced into this position where they're doing the chasing, and it feels uncomfortable for them, but also it feels like this new path that could lead to something really happy. And I definitely feel like with this Four of Wands, there is something very familiar between you and this person. Not like your family, because that's weird when this is like a romantic reading, but there is just something that feels, there is like a sameness, and I think that is why this person is willing to take a chance on you, because it feels like they can trust you more than what they can with other people. Like they recognize something in you that feels worthy of trusting, and maybe they start to feel as though they can be more vulnerable with you as time goes on and they get to know you more. I definitely feel at one stage you were doubting whether this connection was just platonic, like whether this person was actually flirting with you. It was really confusing. And there's going to be a communication that comes in that leaves no doubt in your mind about what this connection is or what it could lead to. And I think that will open the door to many new possibilities going forward. I think this person really wants to choose to move on from the things that feel like they're imprisoning them. And this could just be their own negative self-talk. If they are overly anxious, or they are always concerned about what you might think if they do XYZ. And if they have this kind of guard up, this protective shell, this wall up, it could be that, they are trying to push aside and move past that because they realize that if they don't, they might lose the opportunity to get to know you at a deeper level. And that is not something that they want. So ultimately, they are taking that chance, they're taking that risk, they're putting themselves out there. And I think they're just going to be hoping that you accept this and you are willing to take things to a deeper level. I think this is somebody who is very used to using their hobbies and maybe even their job as a form of escapism. Like maybe it seems as though they are always busy, but I think they use it as a distraction. Maybe they use it as a distraction to not think about romance or, in particular, not think about you. So maybe that's why it seems to you like they don't care or they are nonchalant. It's because they always seem busy and you're like, right, well, they're just focused on work, like they're doing this. So maybe I'm not their priority right now. But it's like they use these things as a distraction to stop them thinking from you all the time because I think you occupy a lot of space in their mind. And I don't think they're used to that happening with people. I think, they try and protect themselves by, putting all their energy into other things so that they're not just focused on you 100% of the time. I think with the Page of Cups, they feel quite inexperienced to some capacity, like they aren't used to feeling this way. And I feel like they have this safety net of detachment because it's sometimes easier to detach than to be fully vulnerable and transparent with somebody. So even though, they get the sense that they are feeling these deeper things, it's like they're a little bit unwilling to lean fully into it, I think. There is something about this potentially being like a little bit of an ego thing. And I don't think this person is necessarily like arrogant or egotistical in a sort of toxic way, but it's like their ego tries to protect them. Maybe like this is them not really ever opening up about emotions or making jokes about many things instead of truly being authentic. It could be that they, joke a lot about serious things. It could be that they joke a lot and you laugh a lot with them, but maybe they struggle to like get too deep or something like that. It could also be that, because they like to kind of control their emotions, they feel as though if they were to open up to you, it would make them feel powerless, like it would make them feel as though you hold all the cards. And I just think they don't want that because, again, that would make them more vulnerable than what they want to be. But I definitely feel as though something is going to be forcing them into taking more significant action towards you in the upcoming future. So definitely expect a text of some kind from them or expect them popping up out of the blue and just saying something that maybe catches you off guard and changes your perspective on what this connection really is. That is what I'm getting for the tarot portion of your reading, Powerful. We are just going to finish this reading up by getting some advice from the Soul Truth Oracle. So please bear with me and we'll have a look at the card we pulled for you. Okay, Powerful. So the card we pulled for you was When was the last time I couldn't stop laughing or smiling? And on the back it says, go back to a moment when you laughed so hard you almost peed your pants, or did. Feel the laughter grow in your body, your cheeks hurting and eyes watering. Maybe there was even a snort or two. Laughter is healing. It reminds us to take life less seriously and find the joy in the littlest things. Note to self, laugh more often. Today's soul action, make somebody laugh today. So it could be that, the kind of relationship that you have with this person, and I think it goes back to that trust in the invisible that we got in the oracle portion of the reading. It's like maybe you two, because there is something so familiar, it could even be in terms of your sense of humor or, the funny shows that you like to watch, just the things that you find humorous. It could be that you two are very similar in that way. So it could be that you share jokes a lot, you share the same sense of humor, and you are always keeping each other laughing. You know how to have banter with each other, have that really playful relationship. And I think, that is one thing that might make you feel as though like, oh, well, this person just sees me as a friend, like they're not attracted to me because, you have this friendship. But ultimately, I think, laughing a lot and establishing friendship as a basis is a good start to any romantic relationship. So it's like, don't feel as though you are necessarily friend zoned just because this person isn't always flirting. Like, if you laugh a lot, that's a really good sign. But definitely, being able to laugh, being able to joke, being able to find the light in serious situations, that is all a good basis to have a relationship because ultimately, like, things happen in life and you want someone on your team who, is willing to see the light-hearted element in all aspects of life. And obviously, you need that balance of somebody who is able to have a deeper conversation but can also laugh. But if you are constantly, in stitches with this person, if you and them are always cracking up, you are crying, laughing, that is such a good sign. And it doesn't mean that you are friend zoned because you laugh with this person. The attraction can be there as well as the jokes. It doesn't have to be like mutually exclusive. So don't feel that way. Like if you're doubting if this person is attracted to you, it could be that one of the big things that they are attracted to about you is that you share this similar sense of humor and you can really make them laugh, and vice versa. Like they can really make you laugh as well. Maybe this isn't your usual type or the type of person you've been with before, but it's like, when you're with them, are you having a good time? And if you're having a good time, then this is a sign that, this could be something. And, if this is a thing that you notice, that you are constantly laughing when you're around this person, that you are in such a good mood, when you come away from them, your cheeks are hurting, you're thinking about what a good time you had, then that just goes to show that you can trust in this invisible, because the energy is a very good energy. It's like something that could really be something. And I think maybe you need to rely more on your intuition, and don't let things get in your head. I think both of you maybe have let doubts creep into your head, but just really tap into those feelings you feel when you're together. And if it is just positive vibes, you are bouncing off each other, you are enjoying each other's company, you are smiling, you are laughing like the two ladies on this card, that is such a positive sign that this is really a worthwhile connection. It is definitely something that's worthwhile investing in and exploring further if that is something you want to do. So that is what I am getting for you, Pal 4. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy the reading, please like the video, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me, and I would appreciate it so, so much. Thank you for being here, Pal 4, and I'll see you in the next one.